right, stream looks good.
It does.
Nominal everything.
All systems are go.
Let's just make sure we're not dropping any frames real quick.
Yeah.
Other than that, yeah. Looks
Cool.
pretty good. All right, welcome everybody. We're here to be discussing some Attack on Titan.
Season 2.
Yep, Season 2. See if we'll let some people kind of trickle in here real quick.
Yes.
Make sure things are going well.
Oh.
Let me make sure things are going on Twitter. For what little of a Twitter audience we have. All right, you are in charge of comments, Jacob.
All right, sounds good.
Comments.
Yes.
They're right there.
Hello, how you guys doing? Welcome.
Yeah, just to be fair, guys, Jacob is going to be the person checking out chat and stuff.
Yes. That one was spoilers slip in there.
Yeah, I'm basically going to be manning
Oh my gosh.
the discussion and making sure things keep going. What's going on?
Thank you, Chef KDOTD. He called me Commander Irwin. That is... My eyebrow game is not that strong, but that is... Thank you.
Yeah, it's quite something.
Yes.
All right, guys, so here's the dealio. Attack on Titan Season 2 was incredible.
It was a thing.
It was a thing, and we waited so long for it. And,
Yes.
yeah, we're here to talk about it. So for those of you that are just itching for more, semblance of Sanity discussion, this is the right place. We're going to be going and doing a very long stream. A very long-winded stream.
That's what we'll do. Ooh, we got a good question from Mayu.
Mm-hmm.
What are our top 3 characters so far?
Top 3 characters?
You want to go first?
So far?
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. Well...
I know, only 3, right?
Only 3. It's tough. Yeah, we were going to get into the episodes and do them episode by episode, but... Oh, man. I would say for now, it's weird, because Yamir definitely shot up way high up into the top.
She did.
For most of the time, she wasn't even in my top 10. Season 1. She wasn't even on the list at all.
She wasn't for me either.
Okay, well, but what we have right now is we have a set of characters that got a little bit of development, and then a set of characters that got a lot of development.
Yes.
So with Reiner, Bertolt, Ymir, and Krista, those 4, I almost want to say I can't give you my top 3 characters of Attack on Titan as a whole, but I'll give you my top 3 characters of this season, like the MVPs this season, because we're talking about Season 2, right?
Sure.
So I really got to give props to, in terms of character and story and stuff, I really got to give props to Ymir. Ymir probably jumped up 7 or 8 spots in my list.
I could totally see that.
For the whole thing. But in terms of like the other 2, Reiner really did a good job with Reiner's character of giving that dichotomy of him being stuck between being a warrior and a soldier because he has to justify the atrocity that he has committed. Yeah. It's pretty horrible. But also this season, I gotta give a little bit of props to Eren. I mean, now it's weird to say this, but Eren, I know we laugh at it. Eren's pretty stereotypical. Like, Eren's a great character, but in terms of what happened this season, Eren had a lot of good moments where he basically just had to sit there and talk or listen or kind of compartmentalize and break down a situation. And then even at the very end where he had that great scene with Mikasa, I want that scene to be theirs and not an individual character's scene.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. But yeah, those are my 3 characters for Season 2. What about you?
Well, so Mikasa has and always will be Bae.
Is that number 1? Just
yeah.
Always? Okay. You're not bringing in other data into this mix here that I don't know about, are you?
No. Just like all my favorite parts in Attack on Titan have pretty much involved Mikasa. And then Erwin has to be number 2. Like, holy freaking crap. Erwin was
Shinzo Sasageo!
Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
The furry strength of those eyebrows, like, just and like everything that they stand for. Like, I swear, they are the true wings of freedom for humanity.
Okay.
Like,
okay, we can gush on Erwin, but like you're saying one scene in this season basically made him
but the thing
one
is
episode.
Well, okay, that was a damn good episode.
I know.
Like, but so all the times that Erwin will be there, it feels like he has a better sense of perspective and purpose. Like, that's one of the things that made Eren so interesting in the beginning, when everyone else was just talking about survival and all that stuff. Before he got into just the raging against the Titans, he was talking about wanting to explore, getting outside the walls. That sense of more and that transcendent element that makes shows stand out so much.
Yeah.
And Erwin, like, I feel like he's taken that up now that Eren's like, for a while was a bit more of just kill all the Titans, you know?
Yeah, but
and like
Erwin giving that perspective, I think, is important, because his line of right here, right now, we're deciding the fate of humanity. We don't have a future if we don't bring back Eren. So go, give your hearts, Shinzo Sasage.
Yeah.
And that whole scene was good, but okay, so you say it puts him up there into like top 3 characters category, but then who's number 3? Like,
number 3, that's a bit more tough.
Remember, compartmentalize. You've just taken what's come of the anime thus far.
Right. That's tough. So, all right.
You seem like someone that's an Armin fan.
Armin is one of my
But
favorites.
He didn't do as much this season as he did last season.
Exactly. With what he's done so far, I would just say I can't quite give it to Armin for the 3rd spot. Reiner is very high up there.
Okay.
But I'm not sure if he's high up there enough to be the 3rd. I don't know.
Check this out, guys. It's hot.
It's
really hot.
Freaking hot here.
It's really hot.
Oh my gosh.
I'm drinking a gallon of ice water. It's ridiculous.
Okay,
so
I can't think of what.
If you can't think of one, that's okay. I think that's a good question, but Jacob, I understand that Erwin did something awesome this season that puts him into the stratosphere of being one of the best characters in anime.
Like, he's god tier now.
But oh man, but I feel like we need more about Erwin. We need a backstory.
Yes.
We need all that extra layers and stuff.
We do.
Otherwise, he's just kind of like
and that is
he's
coming.
a meme. Like he's so powerful. He's the good kind of meme. He's the inspiring kind of meme. But he's not a character yet. You know what I mean? Like I need flaws. Okay. Here's his flaw. He has flaws. He will go after his goals. Regardless and sacrifice anything and everything to achieve those goals. So that's where they kind of okay, he is a character. I'm sorry. I'll retract what I said, guys. I understand how powerful Erwin is by just his presence, but I need some humanity. I need more moments, kind of like what Levi had in season 1, where Levi was the meme. He was so powerful that you couldn't take him seriously that much. Like you just loved every time he was on screen, but he had like a quirky cleaning thing, and then, he loved his squad, and then he was a really great fighter. But when they killed off his team, we were able to
go
see,
back home and
no, there's not just that, him giving Petra's
Yes.
badge
Oh my gosh.
to someone else,
That was
claiming that it was theirs, that he went and grabbed it, even though it wasn't. Those little moments of humanity were great. Erwin technically hasn't had that yet. Also, I am not watching the comments, but you need to be checking that to make sure that we're doing good.
Yeah, that the comments are clean right now.
I mean, like for interaction and stuff.
Oh yes, so a lot of people seem to be liking Hanji, which I can totally.
Hanji is going to be a powerful season 3 character.
Yes, that's
guys. Yeah. I know some of you have read the manga, but like, for those of you that haven't, I'm calling it here right now. Hanji is going to be a huge season 3 character. She is just now like teetering on the edge of learning like everything she wants to know about the Titans. and I can almost feel her excitement, like her little, you know, when in oh wait, that was Sasha. What am I talking about? But it was also Hanji. But that little part where she's like Titans, that kind of stuff that gets me really excited because right now I could see them getting to the basement next season. Like they could chase out Reiner, Bertolt, and Ymir.
Mm-hmm.
They deal with the Beast Titan, get to the basement, and Hanji will just go crazy with the amount of info that they're gonna find or what have you. But that being said, let's talk about season 2.
Okay.
So guys, we have a little bit of a structure to this, but we're mostly just wanting to gob and make fun and laugh and just really just nerd out about how amazing Attack on Titan season 2 was. So guys, perspective. We waited 4 years.
We did. And you actually waited.
4 years. Okay. So this is something that I have not seen a fandom do and survive.
Right.
So let's put this into perspective here. We only got 12 episodes.
Yeah.
Right? That's 4 hours ish of anime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We got 4 hours of Attack on Titan. Not a lot, mind you. Not a lot. But compare that to something like Sherlock. That how long did they have to wait? 3 years?
3 years.
And they got
6 hours.
They got 4.5 hours.
Okay, yeah.
No, 4.5 hours because it's 3
so they did
episodes. So they got more
and that's
in a shorter amount of time.
And they had the Christmas special.
That's no. That was a different thing.
Oh, okay.
But Attack on Titan got less screen time, less runtime, okay?
Then Sherlock
waited at least another year. And back when Sherlock had that wait, that was the meme, was like, at least you don't have to wait as long as Sherlock season 3. And then Attack on Titan waited way longer than that, got less content, did so much more, in my opinion, with that content.
Yes.
That now we have speculation on the Titans and like their origins. In fact, we kind of know what the Titans are now. Not only that, we have a full-on progression towards a war. Like, we now know who's on what side to an extent.
Yeah. Well, we know that there are actual sides.
That's the other thing. Like, we know there's sides.
Like,
guys,
we didn't know that before.
We know there's something beyond the walls sending these Titans here, and it's not just some little village, as I always
not
thought
cool,
it would
Casper.
be. Someone spoiling things?
Well, they're not really. They're just a little they're spoiling by hinting.
Oh, okay. Well, if they say anything worthy of interaction, bring it up and stuff, and we'll do that. And be sure to scroll up in case there's anything interesting there. But okay, we have all this stuff there. We had dramatic plot twists and reveals.
Yeah.
We had a development of our main character in terms of plot and character. We had development of a ton of side characters, and we even have hints of mini arcs starting, I would say, for the villains. So that's something that's really interesting. Really interesting. Reiner was going crazy. In fact, he had distanced himself from reality for this whole thing. Now, I don't want to go and just talk about the villains and everything, but let's wait. Come on.
Okay.
We've got so much stuff we can talk about that, guys. We're endurance runners here. We're not slowing down anytime soon. So if you are here to just talk so much Attack on Titan, this is gonna be it. Oh man.
But okay, before we
Go for it.
Something that I think needs to be mentioned about the villains. Before I know we'll talk about them later. Mm-hmm. But so often people in stories there will be this equating of reveals for characters, whether it's abilities or whatever, with character development. But they didn't do that. They had the reveal, but then with that, there comes this whole idea of they really focused on the psychological things with Reiner and Bertolt, like you were saying, and that made it so much more. Because can you imagine how much that would have sucked if they revealed that it was Reiner and Bertolt, and then that was just it? They didn't deal with what that would actually be like for Reiner and Bertolt.
They spent a whole episode, at least, just on Reiner and Bertolt. Really.
Oh my gosh, I am so dang glad they did that.
Okay, so, I mean, you knew they were at least going to have that much stuff being talked about due to the manga.
Yes. One of the nice things about the manga is that it was broken up very nicely, so that like even before we knew that like that Attack on Titan was going to be coming out or how many episodes, when I read that part in the manga, I was just like, okay, that has to be a season finale because it was just too good.
Shinzo Sasageo and
all that,
the coordinate One Punch Man thing.
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, so what we have is then a season that took a bit of a thematic shift.
Yes.
A bit of a thematic shift. Anything in the comments?
Oh, I just want to say that all you guys talking about how Erwin's voice actor is so amazing, I wholeheartedly agree because I believe he is J. Michael Tatum, and that's Erwin
in the sub?
In the dub.
Oh, okay.
In the dub. And I just want to say that, yes, he is amazing because I love Spice and Wolf and Steins Gate and all that stuff. And so,
J. Michael Tatum. Yeah, he's been in
Yeah.
a lot of stuff. Oh, yeah. I was like, wait, for a second I was a little bit confused because I'm like, isn't the Attack on Titan dub generally regarded as bad? But I guess it makes sense to have awesome characters like Erwin and stuff have incredible characters and stuff. Okay, but so this is what we got, guys. Season 2. We got, let's like kind of just sum up some big things that happened, right? We had 3 Titan reveals. 3.
We did, and another Titan introduction.
Okay. So we got 4 Titans into the mix with Aaron that are now, I would say, plot relevant. To an extent, the Colossal Titan and Armored Titan were plot relevant, but they weren't. It wasn't personal. It was just they were this anonymous force that came out of nowhere and destroyed everything.
Yep.
And in a way, they were seen as kind of these harbingers. They were the thing that brought the destruction. They were
really
more
good.
Symbolic of the Titans coming than actual Titans.
Yeah.
And we knew that there had to be people inside of them, but it's like... Ooh.
Yeah, but there was nothing beyond that. It do you know what makes me think of? It makes me think of Mass Effect.
Okay, they're the Reapers.
They're basically the Reapers, and it's
bringing the Geth.
Yeah, basically.
Sure.
And in season 1, we got one Reaper, right? But it was just like a thing of like, oh, that's a thing. There are Reapers. They cause mayhem, right?
Right.
But then it's like, no. These guys are like, they're the ones bringing the stuff from the other side.
Good comparison too, because with that whole idea of them being harbingers, there was this thing that there was something, like I said, impersonal. It wasn't personal.
Yeah.
But once this season started, you could tell that they shifted things thematically. There was still a decent clip of pacing once we got past the first 3 episodes.
Yes,
but
there was.
Even in the beginning, where they focused a little bit on Connie, Sasha, Krista, Ymir, we got basically a more terrifying feel of Attack on Titan.
Yes.
So once the first 3 episodes of Attack on Titan were over, the Titans sort of ceased to be scary. Now, I'm not going to say that, the Titans were so scary at any point that it was like, oh, this is a horror show. But there was something psychologically disturbing about them.
Right. That picture when you see the smiling Titan and Han is just like, wetting himself.
Yeah, exactly. Also just them generally destroying Shiganshina and causing all kinds of mayhem. But in these first 3 episodes of season 2, with Mike's death and that really disturbing scene with the Titan slowly eating whoever that was in Sasha at the house where Sasha went back to, combined with maybe even the part where there were no Titans, they were just imagining Titans in the dark, and they
that was
took away the music. There was this sort of change in, I think it was because they changed the directors on this season, but there was a change of feel with the Titans in particular, to where I was genuinely scared going into this season at multiple points. And I'm not like a person that likes horror stuff,
right? You don't.
This gave me that kind of sweating thrills, heebie-jeebies, just like, okay, this is Attack on Titan. People can die. It's like I forgot to an extent what it felt like to watch Attack on Titan again, because I'd watched season 1 maybe 7 times at this point, and it just kind of got numb to it. But then you watch it a fresh time again, and it just felt so good. So I got to give props all the way through for this season for just hitting the themes,
They really did.
The thrill of Attack on Titan.
Yeah.
Better than they even did in season 1.
Yes,
so what
because
would you have to say about
because first off, by the way, Lewin Hertz called you Levi.
Called me Levi.
Yeah.
So you're Erwin and I'm Levi.
Yeah.
I thought we were Reiner and Bertolt.
Either one. I mean, but one of the things that I just thought was amazing.
More like intense eyes, you know. But anyway.
Those little like with the red like lines on them showing you're about to go
exactly.
One of the things that I thought was really cool because like you were saying that this had a very different feel. Attack on Titan, when the first season came out, like 4 years ago, right? But when it first came out, that was so new and so different. Like it, I mean, I watched the first episode of Attack on Titan, was kind of like, oh, all right, that's okay. But I watched the whole rest of the first season in one sitting. Like
of course
I was actually on campus for, the school I was going to, and I just had like not many classes that day. And I just started watching.
You just watched the whole thing.
And I just watched the whole thing, like sitting in a chair at the library, like right near the entrance, just the entire time. I was glued to the screen. And they did that because it was like very much thriller, like edge of your seat. This was like what you were saying. This one was like a slow burn, like a lot creepier and like, oh crap, and I just thought that was amazing because if they had tried to do the same thing of making it a thriller, edge of your seat, it would not have felt the same.
True, and to an extent, one of the things that I like to poke fun of Attack on Titan at is that I can't genre identify it, like, fully. It's not a shonen, it's not a flesh mecha, it's not a mystery, it's not just a simple action show, it's not even a sci fantasy or whatever thing. It's kind of all of them.
Yeah.
And when they have moments where they really hit one of those genres elements like hard, like the thriller mystery side of it, it makes it fresh and new again, because in the beginning it can feel very shonen protagonist flesh mecha kind of little combo.
I mean, they did a good job,
and it did a good job. But then when they decide, season 2, we're not going to change the whole dynamic completely, we're going to dramatically emphasize one part of it, you go, ooh, okay, because this is good. And you kind of get this like excited feeling. You're like, oh, what are they gonna do now? I'm excited here.
Yep.
But okay, so that's the first few episodes.
Yes.
But I would definitely say that once
Castle Utgard in the
Ymir? Not even Castle Utgard, because they kept showing backstory at that point as well. That was more slow burn, character emphasis, a little bit of payoff with the Ymir stuff. Point.
Yeah.
But once, you guys know what episode I'm talking about. Once episode 6 happened, and that whole dramatic reveal with the most, to an extent, guys, for those of you that watch our channel, Jacob is a very passionate person.
I am.
And for those of you that really give him a chance, he will get so into something if it's good, if he thinks it's good.
I really will.
And a lot of you were shocked, absolutely shocked, regarding his excitement when episode 6 happened.
Like, even seeing it coming, like, oh my gosh, that was just, they did it just perfectly. Like, So for those of you that were like, what the heck is this guy on? Like, give him a break. He's been waiting 4 years for that reveal, and he got to watch it with me, which is special because we didn't watch Attack on Titan together. We didn't.
I watched Attack on Titan before him, like episode by episode.
Right.
And he watched the whole thing in a binge, like much later or something.
Yeah.
But this is something where the show blends that perfect element of mystery and kind of action thriller, but sort of layered mystery, kind of like Lost almost to an extent, where we can discuss about it, to no end. But when that episode happened, when that very casual, just hey, BT Dubs, we're Titans, and we're mass murderers, and want to come totes join our group or party? Yeah.
No, this isn't what. The Tokyo Ghoul.
what Tokyo Ghoul?
I hear something like, I hear the second season got slammed in that because something sort of like that happened. Anyways,
okay, but the the reveal was handled so well to make it a point where it seemed like Reiner just didn't know what he was doing, and he just decided to just okay, I can't take this anymore, and he just goes for it.
And that made it totally personal. Like I mean, not right off the bat, but
not right off the bat,
but you knew like something was up, right? It's not like you randomly like see the Armored and Colossal Titan like attacking humanity again, and you're like, oh, this is our final showdown. It will be awesome. Like the fact that they're just like. Just come on with us, like come on with us, please, like come on, just make our life easier.
We won't kill anyone.
Yeah, we won't kill anybody. Like
it's a good deal for you.
Yeah. And oh man, like
so that happened.
That happened.
And Mikasa was the war goddess, as always.
Yep,
as always. But
forever may she reign.
Yep, always. But what happened, what was special from that point on, was the entire season's shift in the mystery thriller aspect changed completely.
Yes.
The whole season, instead of being
his face was
about no, it's like but instead of the season being about the Titans, it shifted. I mean, there was a little bit of emphasis on the characters, but it was almost like they were kind of notching off some checkpoints of, hey, we're going to give Sasha some development. We're going to give Tony a little development.
Right.
But then they're like, no, these were the side characters we really wanted to develop. Boom, Reiner. Boom, Bertolt. Boom, Ymir. Boom. And a little bit of Krista. More so kind of just hinting at Krista.
Right. Yeah.
But those three, they're just like, we're going to do this. And they spent a good portion of the second season doing that. And that is so risky because a show like this attracts, I would say, multiple different types of audiences.
Well, right, because Attack on Titan has so many people watching it. Yeah. Like, I mean, you're going to get people that all sorts of different things because it does so many different genres, like you were saying.
Yeah.
So having like so many episodes just focused on character development, it was just.
So, but that's the thing though. That separated this season from season 1 by a long shot.
Yes.
That episode with Yamir going back and showing how
it was awesome.
Everything happened.
Yeah.
We not only learned more about the Titans than we learned in the entire, previous stuff of everything combined. Yep. We got hints of like the war, of like what's actually going on.
Yep.
And I don't know if like I'm even like close to figuring this out, but like I can tell at certain points you get really excited with certain things.
There's as long as you keep it general, can you really be wrong?
Okay, that's true. That's true. But with what we got there, we now have a launching pad for like 5 seasons of stuff of Attack on Titan.
And it's gonna be awesome.
Okay, yeah. I'm really excited for that because season 1 did do kind of the dual arc 25 episode kind of thing. They did the, defend humanity, protects, Trost and Shiganshina and all that jazz.
And it was great.
Yeah. And then the next one, they're like, Female Titan. Mystery of the Titans hidden among us.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, who's the Cylon, Battlestar Galactica. But in this one, they decided, we're not going to do a straightforward arc.
Yeah.
We're going to carry the whole story forward.
Yep.
We're not going to focus on our main character. We're not going to focus primarily on giving even Mikasa or Armin some crazy development. We're going to focus on carrying the whole group forward.
Yep.
And to an extent, the only person that got left behind a little bit was Jean. Or Jean, whatever you say. I say Jean in this because Jean is Ruby, but
sure,
same thing. Who cares?
But I mean, he got a lot of great character development in season 1. So I say that'll tide us over until season 3.
Cool.
Or whatever.
Yeah. I like his character just enough to where I'm not disappointed that we missed anything, and I'm not happy that we didn't get anything. If you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but that
Hiroyuki
second
Sawano.
half though, this is probably one of the greatest sequences of Attack on Titan episodes
that we've had
ever. I think it takes everything in season 1 and blows it out of the water, because even though they slowed down the pacing, slowed it down, so to speak, they took the story pacing, not the action, the dialogue, the amount of time that actually happened, because in this whole season the whole thing lasted like a day or two. I'm not talking about like pacing of time transpiring in their world. I'm talking about pacing
Oh my God.
of just moving everything forward. They just decided, brakes? What are brakes? No, let's just floor the gas and just go. Go. Shinzo Sasageo, basically.
When you realize that we got less than a day of in-world time for every year we waited. Like, and it was awesome.
Good point. That's pretty funny.
Now, okay, so when I think of season 2, I think of it as being very similar to the first half of season 1.
Okay.
In the sense that, like,
Sure.
it was like sort of like every couple episodes something crazy was happening.
Yep.
With the few slow episodes early on.
Right, with a couple great backstory episodes like Mikasa.
Exactly,
and stuff
yeah.
like that. Sure.
But then, of course, this one sort of had the added weight of the eyebrows himself. Yes. Erwin and his majestic
I will concede that
conquest.
I loved the Erwin scene. I loved the whole episode. I loved the fact that not only did he, lose his arm, but he actually went and continued the charge himself.
Yes.
And almost killed Bertolt. In fact, if they didn't go back to show Bertolt, at the very end, I would have still been like, Bertolt could have died. Like, because I don't know how Titan regeneration works.
Although we did see Mikasa, like, totally pwn the both of them, and they survived that.
No, but see, here was the thing about that was kind of different. She cut the neck, and it was just low enough. It wasn't enough to cut the head off.
Oh, okay, good point.
Whereas this, I don't know if he like slashed his spine or anything, because I don't know if the Titan, stuff goes through the spine or if it's just the brain. So I'm guessing that if you cut off Reiner's head, he's not going to regenerate from his head.
I'm guessing probably not.
I'm hoping that's not the case, because that would be
that'd be creepy.
that'd be
as all
crazy.
crap.
Okay, so we then got the finale-ish kind of combination of 2 or 3 episodes.
Yes.
Which felt like it went way too quickly in a good way.
It did, yeah.
But I'm so ready now for season 3, because I feel like I now have a grounded look at where the story is going.
Yes.
If you compare to an instance, here's something that I like to compare in season 1 and season 2 thus far. Remember when Annie crystallized?
Oh my gosh,
and
yes.
she
that
went into a
freaking
glass thing there. It was basically, it was a big middle finger to the fans, basically saying, hey, story, progression, plot, here you go. Plot twist, out of nowhere, Deus Ex Machina.
You guys wanted there to be more plot armor? Well, we put it all in one convenient place for you.
yeah. Literally, they gave her plot armor and made it all shiny and pretty. And to an extent, it was Aaron's choice not to kill her. And that's a part of the story, and I respect that, and that's awesome. But in this case, they had the coordinate, which is a much better plot twist, Deus Ex Machina, than Annie crystallizing.
Right, because it's not like, haha, there's less things going to be happening. No. It's like, you thought things were crazy before. You ain't seen nothing yet. Apparently, Aaron can control Titans.
Well, and the thing I think I find that makes it fit is that it's not like so we'd seen Annie diamond up her skin before and her hands and stuff. So it kind of fits with the Chrysalis thing, but I don't get the forced hibernation, impenetrable whatever thing.
Right.
They should be able to just,
Well, I think
break it.
I think the bull crap they were going with that is that basically Aaron saw her and she's crying, and it was actually way more visceral in the manga. She is sobbing, and her eyes are open, and she's terrified. And I think what they were basically going for is that it was sort of like the power of 2 Titans combining in some weird magical hoobity-ha.
Yeah, but that weird magical hoobity-ha, we don't know what that is.
Yes.
And we're probably not going to find out what that is. It's not important to the story. So they basically wrote her out of the story. But in this, they basically opened up, multiple storylines. Because not only do we know that Aaron can, to some extent, control Titans. We don't know how that works, necessarily. But we do know that also the Beast Titan can control Titans.
Yes.
Which is basically them hinting at it from the very first episode that this is a plot point moving forward.
Good catch. I hadn't thought about that before.
He who controls the Titans controls the world.
Yeah.
So, to an extent, they're diametrically opposing the Beast Titan and Aaron as being opposites of each other. which is cool because Eren looks kind of it's in a way these kind of shown in things like to kind of put the olders versus the youngers and kind of have the kids rebel against, you know, society or what have you. But to an extent, they're really doubling down on it here with having this moody, emo teenager-looking Titan
against the ape-looking Titan
against
that
the
is like
hairy old Titan. That's the all-father scary Titan that's just been around since the dawn of time or something.
Yeah.
And by them basically being, you know, against each other, we then set up a whole arc of conflict, a whole arc of progression for Eren to control this power as well.
Hey, Jeremiah. No,
not looking.
Oh, and
it's
I
not going to work,
Berserk
guys.
Already, but yeah. Anyways, continue.
Okay, so what we have now is a good kind of field of vision as to where the story is going to go. You guys see what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
I now have an idea of where Attack on Titan could go. It was exciting to have Attack on Titan end in Season 1 that way because we were like, we have no idea where this is going to go now.
Right.
Titans are in the walls. What does that mean? What does that mean?
Yeah.
I can remember going crazy just writing down ideas as to what that means, and nothing made sense. I even like dissected the little story that they had in that little between credits scene.
Oh yeah, about the person that
tried to dig
the wall.
under the wall and they found the walls underneath and stuff.
Yeah, that was just like, wait, so does that mean then that there are Titans underneath the city too?
I don't think so. But who knows? So the point is season 2 opened up the story in a very specific direction.
It did.
Season 1 opened it up to just anything.
Yeah.
It's kind of a writer's... It's not a cop-out. It's the writers basically saying, we want to give ourselves a little bit of leeway. And I know that the manga was still going at the time, so it was still progressing. But you can see a little bit of how they... when the first episode of Season 2 came out, they basically just took what they had already done and just started narrowing the field of vision down.
This was a much more focused season because like with the first one it's like, okay, we're gonna explore behind the, you know, beyond the walls, right, try and get to Eren's basement or whatever. But it was very much introducing us to the whole world and how everything worked in Attack on Titan. Now that they have that set up, the second season was like very focused. This is what we're gonna focus on: the armored and colossal Titan and this other Titan, Ymir. Oh, and then this other Titan. Anyways, but you know, but they opened it up so that it was like there, so that I think that was a really brilliant move. I don't think it was a cop out in any way because now they're basically saying, hey, this is what we're promising to give you guys as a story for Attack on Titan. We're not just gonna do some quick story, right? You know, even though maybe the original plan was to have everyone die in the first season or whatever that was. I think that was really cool.
I heard something about that.
But now they're like, no. We're gonna take you on a ride. Like this ain't
serious
over.
Ride.
Like it's it's still escalating. You know, the roller coaster is going up.
So what you have in terms of knowledge of the manga, are you at all worried about this show not ending?
So here's usually the problem with things not
let's
ending.
spend like a very small amount of time on this.
So the only problem that I usually see when things don't end is with things like, say, Bleach, right?
Shonen.
Or long running shonen where basically the quality ends up dropping over time because they get into a rut, right?
Okay.
And it's usually because they get into a rut.
Yeah.
But if this season is any indication, and I can tell you that the future stuff follows along this pattern, that
keep going.
That the writer isn't in a rut. He knows how to keep things fresh.
So the writer is not trapped in any way based on where you're at thus far.
I don't think so. And
okay, cool.
Yeah.
So the reason why I ask that is because I'm worried they're going to go into a place where everyone's a Titan. It's kind of like the Pirates of the Caribbean 2 effect where just everyone's a pirate now.
Well, okay. So here's a way that I think they kind of debunked that. Because we now know that Titans are made from humans, in a way they kind of said everyone's a Titan, but not everyone's a Titan.
Right, because there's only a few that are Titan shifters.
Right, and even then it's more of that everyone could be turned into Titans, right?
But not everyone is currently turned into Titans, so there has to be some limiting factor.
Right, exactly.
Okay, all right, so let's get some interaction from the audience. So could you pick some, like, guys, sound off any questions you have about season 2 in particular. Nothing manga related. Nothing specifically related to us. Like, let's keep it Attack on Titan focus, because we're going to be doing a Q&A video this coming week.
That's too bad you want to keep it Attack on Titan focus. A lot of people are starting to talk about Berserk.
Why?
Well, it is a good show. But,
okay.
So, yeah, a lot... okay, guys, let's get some Attack on Titan questions.
Yeah.
Do you have a theory on who the Beast Titan is? A couple people said that. Oh, everyone seems to be saying that.
Beast Titan. Okay, so I'm guessing then the Beast Titan is a very main character going forward. That's good. I mean, I got the read on that, and they're trying to hint the identity by showing us like a silhouette and the
steam
and the glasses and stuff. And I don't really get any like specific vibe from that, but I get that there's a lot of ways they could take it. My theories on the Beast Titan are more related to the Titan form itself, not the person within the Titan. Because when I think of the Beast Titan, I don't think that the person is really like someone as important as we would think. So let me backtrack here. Whoever's in the Beast Titan is important. Obviously, there's someone important, but it's not like there's someone important like Reiner and Bertolt where it's personal. They're important because they're going to get developed in season 3.
Okay,
that's just how it has to be. They have to get developed soon or some point, or they're just going to get moved out of the story and maybe come back in season 4.
And like the way they set up the Beast Titan, I mean, come on, he can talk and control the other Titans.
So my theory is not really the Beast Titan's identity. It's more about what the Beast Titan is. And I think the Beast Titan is very similar. I've been seeing this a lot in anime currently, where the main villain is kind of a father progenitor of the others and births the others. So I feel like all these other Titan shifters are the children of this Beast Titan. And like maybe even there's some connection where like Ymir is the human hybrid that was the goddess that, you know, was wed to the Beast Titan. I don't know, some really dumb theory that, like, you know, there's some kind of ultimate desire of the, you know, the others to form the perfect Titan human hybrid kind of thing and move things in that
maybe
direction.
That's why they want Eren. Maybe.
No, I'm thinking Eren is basically that experimentation,
right?
Because Jaeger, the Grisha, he did his whole spiel there. So guys, I have no idea who the human form of the Beast Titan is. I don't think there's really been any clues other than just the silhouette description and then maybe some themes. Like I said, they're diametrically opposed. So there's all kinds of things you could do when you have someone that's the opposite of someone. I like to think of it as whoever is in that person might be the Eren Jaeger of that city. You know, the other human city, wherever these Titans are coming from. They're like someone that has that desire to, you know, see the world, or I don't know, something like that.
So this is just like a tale of two cities, and it's just each one has their hero that's going to go and try and conquer the other.
That would be really cool. Tale of Two Cities is a great story.
I mean, not that that's what the Tale of Two Cities is at all.
No, not at all about, but it's a good picture. So I don't know. That's about my answer to that one.
Now here's a couple other questions that I thought were really good.
What?
Most brutal death and favorite scene. Not necessarily just from season 2.
Most brutal death,
or just like the worst one, you know.
Well, see, in terms of brutal, I was really kind of surprised they did the whole thing with Levi's team in a very kind of, we're gonna show it from multiple angles, different times, and all that. When Petra died, I knew it was coming. But the fact that she got stomped into the tree, and and then came back and saw the body, her eyes are open. That was just hard. Yeah, that was just really hard to watch.
Oh man, yeah.
Mike's death was a bit over dramatized. It was a very brutal death. It was very brutal.
Yes,
but I'd say in terms of more like psychologically brutal, which is what I usually go kind of when I hear brutal. is the guy that just put a gun in his mouth when the girl was sitting next to him and just blew his brains
oh
out.
my gosh,
that was really rough.
Talk about like setting the tone. Like,
yeah, but that was like episode 5 or 6 or something.
Yeah, but that was good
when they got the ammunition people second there. But favorite scene is hands down the Mikasa Eren scene at the finale. I love Shinzo Sasageo. That was a fantastic scene, but it wasn't a scene. It was a shocking development.
It was
just
a
gripped
thing
you,
that
and
happened.
My heart just stopped for like 5 seconds. But that scene with Mikasa and Eren was so powerful. Yeah. So powerful. I could go on and on, but I'm saving that one for the end and stuff. Yeah, that's super good. So brutal, most brutal death and favorite scene.
I would say the most brutal death would be Mikasa's parents.
Oh, I forgot about that. The axe.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that just thinking about that just pisses me off.
Like
again.
that, and apparently they got. Now this is just me nerding out. They got Colleen Clinkenbeard to play Mikasa's mom in the dub, who's the mom in Wolf Children,
which
is my absolute favorite movie. Yeah. So,
but she has like no lines.
I know.
So they basically gave such a gem of a voice actress.
Yeah.
For someone that just needs to deliver a few lines, like just yell, "Mikasa, run!"
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But then as for favorite scene, I'd probably have to agree with Caleb. If not that, then because I can't say episode 6 and 7 because that's not really a scene. But if I were to say like the highlight from those episodes, it would be the part where Mikasa is basically like thinking back on her life and has given up, and then she decides that she's still going to keep fighting. But
she breaks the floorboard.
Yeah. Well, no. Well, okay, that was great too. I was thinking of when she's staring at the pomegranate.
Oh, and then Eren as a Titan comes up. And...
Yeah, like that was absolutely amazing. But yeah, let's be real. Eren and Mikasa's moment at the end of season 2, and yes, I totally ship Eren and Mikasa, always and forever, amen. But even that aside. That scene was just like perfection. Like
it was really good, and we could gush about that scene for a long time. But any other good questions going on in chat?
Oh yes. So let's see.
Man,
there was
so hot.
Oh my gosh, it's so freaking hot in here. There was a really good one in here, but it was way farther up.
Eventually, more questions will come in at the bottom.
That's true. I just want to see if I can find this one. Okay, yeah. Well, guess can't find it. No, I do not ship Reiner and Berthold.
So one of the things you'll find out about us in general is that like we are well aware of the shipping community. And we are scared silly by it. I mean, that's okay. Let's be fair.
Well, yeah,
we're not scared silly by it.
We just don't really partake.
We just don't do it because it's just kind of like I like when canon relationships happen. So I'm happy to see things like Ymir and Krista like actually happening, because people were insisting to me like. They're a couple, and I'm like, season 1, we didn't see them.
No,
we didn't see them.
All we saw
like,
was Ymir making her little comments of like, "Marry me, baby," or something like that. Right. But Reiner says that all the time.
Yeah. So once this season happened, I mean, I knew it was probably a thing in the manga or something, but this season gave us an awesome canon, lesbian couple, and they did it so well, like fantastically.
They did.
But okay. But let's go.
So this was a good question.
Okay.
Least favorite character, like not just least favorite character, but character that you just hate.
Hate? Well, Adam Taurus isn't in this, but maybe if Raven put him through a portal, he could come into the Titan world and stuff.
Okay.
In terms of actual hated characters, it's tough because most of those characters end up dead.
Sure, or they at least make them like if.
Attack on Titan is a little bit guilty of this, though. They're a little bit guilty of making a character that's almost too easy to hate because they just, they're just scum. And they kind of do that to just kind of rag on humanity. I don't like that necessarily because while humanity does have a lot of scummy people.
Sure, the random like fat merchant or the king.
Yeah,
Not the king,
exactly.
but the lord
Like
or whatever.
the noble playing
yeah,
chess with
yeah,
Pictius eating himself fat. Like that kind of character. Yeah, I hate those characters, but they don't get screen time, so I don't have time to hate them.
Sure.
In terms of Attack on Titan, like hated characters, I don't have hated characters. What I generally get is disappointment. I get disappointed at characters that are just not handled well, and they just don't become characters.
What about Pastor Nick though?
Pastor Nick, I want to know why he's crazy enough to think that, you know, he's got to die for the walls, praise the walls. I love those Slap on Titan.
I can't wait
memes.
to see what they do with this season.
Oh, that's going to be great too.
It's going to be awesome.
Pastor Nick is interesting because while, yes, I don't like his character in terms of what he means for the story at all. I like that they're actually giving him a decent amount of screen time because he knows things. So he's not even a character yet in my mind. I mean, in a way, here's my most hated character. My most hated character is that bastard penis head shaped Titan with big eyes that bit on Mike a second time after the Beast Titan said, "Hey, stop that." And then he had to squeeze him and his eyeball popped out. I was like, yeah, that's right. Kill that thing.
Yep.
That was my most hated character in Attack on Titan Season 2. I don't really have any characters I hate, but when he did that, I was like, oh, you crossed a line. And I liked that the Beast Titan was like, hey, I said no, and they just...
That was pretty cool. That was
probably like the one character I hated, because...
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know who it is.
For you?
Yes.
Who?
And I think you'll change your mind once I say
will?
this. Yeah.
Who?
That frickin' girl that was Annie's friend in the military police. What's her face?
Nah, she was goofy. I don't mind her.
No, she bugged me. Like,
she was only there for that one scene.
I don't have Eren. Why you keep saying this?
Wait, what?
Someone's someone with with Mikasa's name on there keeps saying, "Give Eren back, Jacob." Oh, Hitch. Yes, that's what her name is. Yes, thank you.
Yeah, see, wait, is that a... Never mind. Is there a joke in there? I don't really care enough to find out. If anything, I don't like lame character designs. I think a couple times Attack on Titan carbon copies a character design from a previous killed character a little bit too much.
Sure.
Recycles the hair a little bit and gives them to a new character.
Mm-hmm.
That sometimes bugs me. But other than that, no, I love all the characters in Attack on Titan. Because there's this realistic kind of reaction they have to just crazy stuff happening.
Sure.
So
now,
I like that.
Now this is another question on characters.
Okay.
But is there a character that you wish you could see more of? You wish had more screen time and like that
Absolutely.
you just think is just underused right now?
Absolutely. Armin.
Oh, yeah. Ooh,
Armin.
Yeah, good
absolutely.
One.
I feel like Armin is completely underutilized in terms of what he means as a character, because he was one of the ones that initially had the curiosity, like Eren, to see the outside world.
Yes.
I have not seen him bring that up again. Did he bring that up at all in season 2?
I think he might
help us
have.
out. If he brought that up at all, let me know. Because I feel like them sharing that together was good. And I remember someone in the comments saying, like, wait a minute, Armin and Eren are way closer to each other than Mikasa is. And I'm like, I'm sure they are.
But we haven't gotten to see
that.
That
we
is
haven't
an
seen
excellent
that.
point.
And in this season, Mikasa jumped way ahead, in my opinion, my humble opinion, because of that scene at the end.
And that's a great point, because if you think back to season 1 of Attack on Titan, right? Mm-hmm. It's generally, in anime, it's pretty hard to make your main character be relatable in a non-vanilla, just sort of fill whatever shape you give them type of character.
And you have shows like Baccano, who say F you to the main character stereotype.
Exactly.
Baccano's a good show.
Baccano's a fantastic show.
But anyways, we're talking about Attack on Titan.
Yeah, but Baccano doesn't have a main character. Just to yeah. But Armin and Eren, having them talk about Beyond the Wall, it made us invested in the world, because one, why are they not allowed to learn about Behind the Wall? But also just seeing them as kids being filled with wonder amidst this super dark and scary world, just wanting to explore and know what's out there.
Yeah.
Like,
if anything, it was great because at that point we didn't know the world was dark and scary. Well, we knew it was dark and scary, but we didn't know how dark and scary it was. And now we look back on those scenes with kind of fondness and nostalgia because, like, remember the good times?
Mm-hmm. Now,
any other good questions?
Here's a good one. So, now, this might not necessarily fit for us very well, but if we were a character in the Attack on Titan world, which one do you think we'd be? Now, do you think we should answer this like about each other or like
Okay, to be fair, I would see myself as probably one of the less interesting 104th members. Like,
okay,
I would probably be. I'd probably be Sasha.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I can kind of see that, but okay.
I'd probably be Sasha. But I wasn't thinking about gender specific or anything. But I mean, hey, we could be Reiner and Bertolt. Bertolt does fit a little bit for me, so.
Except you're a lot more of a people person. You're all about connection and stuff.
That's true.
So I think.
I mean, but Bertolt's restrained, so we don't really know his personality fully.
That's true.
Now because he's had to lead a double life. So I feel like Bertolt in the personality sides of things, but when Sasha shows her full personality and she's having fun and she's really want to be there, Sasha's me. I'm potato girl to the max.
And if you saw a little girl about to get eaten by a Titan, you would totally go ham on that Titan with a wood axe.
Well, that too, but I would also jump on its face and drive an arrow into its eye like it's nobody's business.
Yeah.
What about for you though?
This is tough. One of the reasons I liked Mikasa a lot was because I identified with her a lot. But
we're both picking our favorite ladies in Attack on Titan. That's hilarious.
But I mean, let's be real. I'm not Mikasa. Like
okay, thank you. I was gonna say if you picked Mikasa, I'd be like, whatever.
Yeah.
But you're saying no, you're not Mikasa. Mikasa is who you want to be.
Yes.
You're Armin. No, wait, no, you're not.
No.
You could be Reiner. I actually like to think of the fact that you could be Reiner.
I would like also to think that I could maybe be Erwin. But
guys, all right, sound off in the comments. Do you think Jacob is more Armin, Reiner, or Erwin?
One of the blondes.
Like, vote. If you think, they're all blondes. What do you know? They all have some varying degree of intelligence and stuff. But is he Reiner, Armin, or Erwin?
All right, so far we've got 2 for Armin, 2 for Erwin. Oh, another 3 more for Armin. Erwin, Armin, Pound Town, Erwin, Pound Town, Reiner, Erwin, Armin. Oh, dang, this is there's there's a lot of all of them. I think Reiner maybe, I don't know. Oh, dang, now a lot of people are saying Reiner.
All right, so not as many for Erwin though.
There's no I don't know. Oh, people are saying just about all of them.
Oh, okay.
That is a good question. Well, we know I'm one of the blondes.
Okay, cool. So Jacob is a blonde.
A blonde. I don't know whether I'm the.
But Nanaba was it Nanaba, or is it Nanababa or Nanaba?
Nanaba.
I don't know. Nanababa or whatever is not on the list. So you're not all the blondes.
Well, Nanaba wasn't blonde. She had like gray hair, didn't she?
I don't know.
Well, but besides, I'm not Krista. You know.
So. Well, Krista is a goddess, and
right, exactly.
And you're not. Sorry.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And I'm not Hannes either. But yeah,
I would say. Oh wait, no, guys. Okay, so on YouTube, I'm probably Sasha, but in real life, I'm Hanji.
Yes.
I just realized. I was like, wait,
you totally are.
Wait.
You totally are.
No, not Sasha. Sasha is when I'm having a lot of fun.
Yes, I am passionate like Erwin. Thank you.
But no, I'm Hanji. If you get me watching something that I'm really into and we're going to go into crackpot theory time, I'll go full
He
Hanji.
goes off the deep end.
It's really bad. So if anything, I'm restraining myself for you guys just a little bit.
So does that mean that there is a possibility that were Erwin and Hanji. That
we could lead the scouting regiment.
We
or
could.
The Surveycon Legiment.
The Surveycon Legiment.
Okay, that would be awesome. Okay, great questions, guys. How about what are some questions that you would like to see in terms of, like, we'd like to hear maybe some feedback from you guys about story in season 2 and parts in particular that you want us to talk about. Like, we're going to talk about all the highlights and stuff, but what are some areas that aren't necessarily like, you know, Reiner and Bertolt being Titans level, you know, up the top there, but you're like, please talk about these parts in particular, and then we'll go through them.
Wow. Oh my gosh. 2 people had kind of the same idea. One person said, what is your favorite half of Marco? And then the other person said Marco's death. And then another person said Marco's flashback.
Oh my god.
I just want to say...
it's too hot in here.
Addy Bedleri, I probably butchered that, but Addy, that was amazing. Thank you.
Which half of Marco?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I feel like they were trying to hint that Reiner and Bertolt and Annie and all them, they had some doing in Marco's.
Yes, that was
death.
something that they were definitely going.
I didn't get it though. I'm sorry.
If
guys.
you rewatch it, it can make more sense. I can tell you like literally what was happening in the flashback. Some things might be a little bit out of order, but basically, Reiner and Annie and Bertolt and Marco were all in one spot.
Yes. And then, in fact, they were when Mikasa was trying to get everyone to just follow her because she's so strong, you know.
Whoever next to the Max first gets to sleep with me.
Guys, we love a slap on Titan too. That's
we do.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
So those 4 were together.
They were together, and then basically something happened, and then what we see is, someone from the arm muscles, you can sort of tell it's Reiner, is pinning Marco down, and is like taking off his gear, and Marco's like, Reiner, what the hell are you doing? And then later it shows
why Annie had his gear.
Exactly, and then later
they basically kill or let him die to Titans.
Yeah, and then it shows them, and they're all like freaking out, and Annie and Bertolt are like, oh my gosh, and then Reiner's just sitting there, and he's like, why is Marco getting eaten? And then from there it goes.
Why did they not know?
No. The idea is that they were setting it up as if that's when basically Reiner's mind first kind of split.
Oh.
And and the way they show it with when Aaron's talking to him and stuff, like they fit it in so that
okay.
Yeah, because Reiner was basically the one that actually like pinned him, took off his gear, and then they just abandoned him.
So he violated basically his conscience to such a degree
that he
shifted full on into soldier mode.
Yep.
After that. Oh my gosh. Okay,
yeah.
so
they
should have given
awesome.
a little bit more time to that. Added 20
seconds. Yeah, would have been enough.
Would have been plenty.
Yes. Yeah.
But I don't remember where that was exactly in season 2. So
it was when Aaron was talking to Reiner, and he's basically questioning him. He's like, how can you guys possibly be doing this and all that stuff? And you're realizing that Reiner's kind of messed up in the head, but you're not exactly sure what it is. And then they basically showed that. It was
okay.
Awesome.
That's really good because Reiner's psyche is really broken right now.
Which
like
is
you
crazy.
see characters with fragile psyche, and that's Bertolt.
Yeah.
Bertolt is fragile. Reiner's is broken.
And I love how they did that because he's the strong leader character, and yet he's the most like dysfunctional and broken of everybody.
Yeah, probably. I would say Bertolt's hurting.
Yes,
but Reiner
and
is
he's
hurt.
alone.
Reiner is hurt.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see what Ymir and all them being together will do. But okay, so if that's the scene, and that's what happened, well, I think they just need to give a little more time to that. I guess that if I had rewatched it a few more times immediately, it would have, I would have figured it out.
Now, here's a question.
But what it kind of does is it gives context more so to Annie when she's like looking at all the bodies, and she's like, "I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry."
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Reiner comes up to her, I think, after that, and he's like, "They're dead. Move on." And she's still like, I can't.
Yeah.
I can't. because maybe to an extent Annie was really the infiltrator, and she didn't think like she'd have to kill anyone really in particular. Or maybe she just, but she had no problem killing the scouts and stuff like that when she was in her Titan. But the fact that was maybe her first time she assisted in some other human being.
Well, and it's not just that she was killing some other human being. She was killing a friend.
Well, okay.
Who knows how much they could actually have been friends?
This is maybe one of the things that Attack on Titan is unfortunately done. It's a little bit hard. Because the voice acting in the show is done so well, it works. But it was off-screen friendship building. We have to have it inferred based upon the dialogue, upon the acting, on the animation.
Excellent point.
So I don't feel it as much unless the character on the screen feels it a lot. So that's why that part where Annie was like, "Komenasai," just like, I'm really sorry.
Yeah,
that was good because I didn't know why she was doing that, other than she felt bad that all these people died and maybe she wasn't able to save them.
Right.
But now I get context for that. If they had maybe shown that in conjunction, we could have had this really cool, just, oh wow, that's how broken Reiner is. But also it gives depth to her a little bit. But it's them basically believing in the intelligence of the fandom.
Yeah,
that's good stuff.
Right.
When the show doesn't pander down to the lowest common denominator of intelligence by trying to just overshow something, that's
because we've all seen those scenes in Shonen where someone does an ability, and just by watching them do the ability, we know exactly how it works. But then they have to spend 60 seconds explaining it to their enemy, so that the audience also knows what's going on.
Yep.
Gets a little bit old.
It gets a little bit old. But Attack on Titan
doesn't do that.
Has done a good job of not really doing that.
Right. And if anything, we just maybe wish we got to see more of their backstory, but then they didn't do as much of that so that they could get to the exciting, crazy stuff after they're done.
Because if anything, most of their backstory is focused around kind of how it interacted with Ymir. With their buddy Marcel or whatever that was. So any other scenes in particular that you guys want?
We were thinking of exactly Bleach when we were talking about that.
Bleach? What about?
Oh, the whole thing of like shonens and people explaining their moves and all that stuff.
Yep, absolutely. Bleach was our first show, and
but any character deaths that you see incoming for season 3?
Well, Erwin almost bit the bullet, so he might be safe for a little bit. But I feel like, in a way, Erwin is the character that now that he has come to that point, it made me really think about what's going to happen to the Survey Corps. Like, how badly does the Survey Corps need Erwin? And I was like, well, they wouldn't survive without him. Like, that was when I realized, whoa, wait, no, he can't die. Like,
his eyebrows are literally carrying the fate of humanity.
Carrying humanity. He's like that one guy in an MMO that's like way higher level than everyone else, carrying a group of lobbies through a dungeon.
Sure.
And he's just like, I will carry you on, Shinzo Sasakeo, and they're all like, yeah, follow Erwin, he knows what's going on.
Or maybe he's the guy that's like, there's a raid that's about to happen, and he's the one that's like organizing everybody and actually making it happen. You know?
But see, I think Hanji could do that. I think Levi could not. But I want to see Armin get full on discipled by Erwin. Like
that would be
awesome. The characters that I feel like are actually due to die. Oh, I feel it's scary to say this, but anyone that gets developed that closely to the plot regarding the Titans is going to die.
Sure, so they did that with
Pastor Nick. His days are numbered. His days are so numbered.
Okay.
Someone's gonna kill him. He's like the highest on my death list.
He already kind of said that, like, I'll die anyway. So
yeah, but
send me to the wall.
Other characters, I'm actually genuinely worried about Reiner and Bertolt. They have effectively become not useless, but they have lost the surprise element.
Okay, because they've had their reveal, now they're sort of up in the air.
Well, I think one of them will die, and one of them will be redeemed.
Okay.
I genuinely think that one of them...
Hold on just a sec. Hey guys, let's keep the comments civil, okay? Thank you. Anyways, continue.
Just people just talking trash or stuff.
Yeah. Well, see, the thing is, when people talk about ships, they tend to conversations get a little heated.
Okay.
Well,
yeah. I mean, that's why we tend to avoid them. But
yes.
Okay.
So, Reiner and Bertolt.
One will die, one will get redeemed, and I don't know who it'll be because they They have both different reasons to die and different reasons to be redeemed.
Sure. Okay.
I feel like Ymir is a survivor, so it would be ironic for her to die. It would suck, but I actually think she will survive. So I think because she's a survivor and because there's this whole cult thing surrounding Ymir, whether or not they just give the name Ymir to people randomly and prop them up as divine beings or something like that, whatever. I feel like she's too plot relevant. Like, she's a MacGuffin in and of herself. Krista is a more realistic MacGuffin, so I feel like Krista is going to live a little bit longer. But let's say Krista starts to have all the mysteries about her being revealed, she's gonna die soon. I want their ship to actually happen. I don't ship it like if it's not gonna be canon on screen, it's not gonna be canon. But right now, it's canon on screen.
Sure.
So I would like them to actually not just write it out of the story, because that's too lazy. I actually got some serious death vibes surrounding Connie.
Connie. Yeah, when they had that whole thing of him going through his village and
when he went to his village, he lost all ties basically to the human world.
Sure.
It's just his friends basically keeping him now.
And he might go a little bit like
he's a side character. Let's be real. He's a side character. So if nothing
but he is a
crazy
side character
happens,
we would care about if he died.
If he died, that would be
suck.
sad. But the reason why he would die would be something very where he actually gets that little boost of character development to do it. So if Connie gets sudden character development again, he's gonna die.
Okay.
I feel like Sasha is just too potato to die. Like, Sasha has become potato, destroyer of meat. You know, like yeah, whatever. I don't know. Sasha, man, she's not gonna die.
She was about to die in this episode,
there's the
though,
holy trinity of Eren, Mikasa, and Armin.
Do you think one of them's gonna die?
No. Here's the problem now. Attack on Titan has gone a full season now without a main character dying.
Sure. Okay. Marco was the season 1 main character, you could say.
Well, yes, but also to an extent, I consider Annie to be sort of dead right now. I don't think she's going to come into the story for a long time. There's no reason for her to. In a way, if Annie comes out again, she will be a completely different character. That's just my belief.
Okay.
It's basically they killed the female Titan.
So here's a good question. When, if ever, do you think Annie is going to come out of the chrysalis?
No idea.
Thing?
Long time.
Okay.
She's going to be on Eren's side when she comes back out, though.
Okay. So do you think then that... so she will be on Eren's side, and then also one of either Reiner or Bertolt will be on their side?
Yeah, because I feel like what's going on right now is there's
this
other
could
power.
Get a happy ending?
I don't know. There's this other power out there. Maybe. I don't know. There's this other power out there that's sending the Titans as kind of child soldiers, really, to just go and cause havoc.
Mm-hmm.
What that's doing to them is just so psychologically damaging. They cannot hope to have these kids survive that kind of trauma. So if they come back to that place, wherever that is, I could see them getting executed for failing. Like, not even with Ymir. And not only that, I could see them trying to find some way to, like...
But are they really going to kill Titan shifters?
No, like actually, like, killing them and, you know, giving, like, okay, you guys were a decent group for the beginning. We need a new armored and colossal Titan now.
So basically, it'd be freaking in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood what they did with
Greed. Yeah. You guys remember Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood with Greed? They're gonna go back. They're gonna be like, hey, Eren has the coordinate,
but we got this one.
They're gonna be like, who cares? And then they punish one of them, and that's how one of them dies, and the other one's just supposed to sit there, and maybe, you know, I don't know, they find some way to get out and help them. I don't know. Now that I think about it, my theories, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. It works if they actually find a way to get out, or maybe they imprison both of them and then they escape, get free.
That could be a forcing function for them to go to the other side.
It would be cool to see, because here's the thing. I'm getting the vibe that you know, whole eating a human, you know how whole Ymir's transformation, all that, there's got to be some kind of eating involved. I feel like Reiner and Bertolt, one of them or both of them, are going to get eaten at some point in the future as kind of a punishment for their failings.
That would freaking suck.
They will pass the, you know, the powers of the Titan onto someone else.
Okay.
And it's a way that they can keep the story moving, but it's also a thing where they get that kind of sad Attack on Titan style closure.
Oh yeah, that would
where they sort of get what they want, but they don't get to live to see it.
Oh, that would suck.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a good question.
Yeah.
I want to talk about Ymir's flashback.
Oh, do I want to?
like
guys, here we go.
So
okay.
So
now,
first off, like,
I am sorry for those of you what you're about to see, but I'm going to get very into this real quick. So, Ymir is a key. Like, remember how I said she's a MacGuffin?
Yeah.
Like, what she represented in that backstory was someone that was
insane. Well, I mean,
what? Insane?
Well, no, not as if she was someone insane, but it was ridiculous. Like, people were worshiping her.
No. I was predicting a Titan cult from, like, the very beginning when they started bringing the wall people and, like, the walls and praise the walls. I'm like, why are people worshiping the walls? And then I was like, wait a minute.
Oh, yeah, Titans
people
are in the
have all
walls.
this.
Yeah.
No. That too, but also the limited understanding of people stuck in a very fearful and terrifying situation. They're going to start turning, to an extent, to their oppressors as being this mighty hand of God coming down to bring judgment, and it's such BS. But it's sickeningly good in a story way, and how twisted it is that they could basically start to looking as, you know, people. But now, see, these were kids and stuff that they're putting into this cult thing. But Ymir is a kid, some random kid, probably, you know, just some orphan.
Yeah,
it's a really sad story, and she's just kind of there and has no purpose, and it's really depressing and sad.
Oh yeah.
There's a couple people that just come and say, this one's good. Okay, they just grab some kid and say, you're Ymir. We will worship you. We are going to... I hope there wasn't any, like, weird human sacrifice or anything like that, but I seriously think that's how, like, shady and nasty it could have gotten.
Okay.
So, with Ymir...
It was a request.
Yeah. With Ymir in particular, I'm sensing, like, the whole universe of Attack on Titan's, like, mysteries getting unraveled for real by what her character represents. So this Ymir thing is, I think, a reference to maybe what the other city has that they worship. Instead of the walls, they have Ymir, and Ymir is just whatever. But the point is that when I got the vibes from Ymir's story and the themes from it is that she's the one that's gone to both sides and she's passed through into the beyond.
Ooh, okay.
When they had that scene, you know what scene I'm talking about. The music hit so perfectly.
Yeah.
She's sitting there and she's naked and just gazing into the sky. She's tasting freedom. And there was something transcendent in that. There was something powerful, and I was like, wait a minute. She's like, it's like she's tasting what it's like to be almost a god, a goddess. Like she's feeling that I'm lifted above and beyond this.
Right.
And that was something where I'm like, ooh. Yeah. Ooh, there's something good there.
And she mentioned that she had, what was it? She was like, I was stuck in that hell for 60 years. So basically, she was at least semi-conscious while a Titan for 60 years.
Well, yeah.
Like, and okay.
We now know that there's abnormals, and they're basically hinting that abnormals are just
humans
people,
that are a bit more
Well, the human side is still a little bit more there than
Sure.
just the regular Titans.
Now, one of the things that I absolutely loved about that, you know how you said that we didn't really get much more about Armin and Eren talking about Beyond the Walls and all that stuff after those first few episodes in season 1.
Right.
This felt like the first time that it got back to that same feeling that I got when they first were talking about that in season 1. Because, like,
I agree. It's pretty close. So, guys, whatever the cult thing and the worship thing, I feel like that's sort of important, but it's not as important. But the thing that the flashback reveals is that Krista is actually what's important, and the reason why she's important is because of her family ties, her connections there. And I don't remember the name, but I don't think it's important because we'll hear it again some point in the future. But her name is Historia, and now I'm gonna get a little bit interesting here. But for someone to be named Krista and then have her name switched to Historia, it's are you serious?
Well,
like they're being so like
on the
ham-fisting
nose.
with these these symbolism names and stuff like that.
Well, just the fact that at the very beginning she was called Krista, and everyone calls her a goddess. Like,
really,
really. And now she's called Historia, which basically means plot relevance.
Right. Her name is basically plot.
God of plot.
God of plot. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Goddess of plot.
Goddess of plot.
Yeah. The blonde goddess of plot. So, the blondess.
Blondess of plot.
Okay. But with Ymir in particular, we basically saw the character's full perspective come into the forefront. She needs freedom. She's been bound in a cage of a Titan for too long.
Just like the humans were bound in a cage.
I know, it's so good. There's so many good themes there. But what that conjures up in my mind is a picture of what this show is going for. This is where humanity, so to speak, in the show is going. They're moving towards a place where it doesn't matter about Titans or humans or anything like that. I'm going like way end game here. This show might not Gurren Lagann level crazy, but it might go pretty dang close. Is the idea that Titans and humans...
Titans in space or something?
No, not Titans in space. I'm talking like a pure hybrid. Ow, 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 ow. Ow, ow, ow.
Legs asleep?
Legs asleep. Legs asleep. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Ow.
Anyways, that happens
painful.
Sometimes.
That was painful.
You were actually just trying to transform into a Titan, but you're not quite there yet.
Maybe. That was funny. Ow. Okay. Alright, I'm good. Okay, so whenever I talked about that hybrid thing before, I really think that's a thing. I feel like Eren is the science portion of this. Okay? And he is basically what humanity is searching for. The Titan shifters are basically that whole thing. But Eren is more of a perfect thing towards it. Because already he has, like, whatever the coordinate is. And the word coordinate inspires all many different things. But specifically for Ymir, when she had that moment of transcendence and looking up into the stars and realizing freedom and just kind of basking in it, I was like, okay, this is a symbol, this is a theme that the show is going for. Moving humanity beyond the walls. Moving humanity beyond the limited scope that they were seeing there. And taking the kind of the nasty relationship they've had with the Titans to a place where they could actually find peace. And I feel like whatever Ymir is, like actual Ymir, that might be related to it. But I think again, it's more symbolic than actual like reality.
Sure. Now, okay, here's an interesting
thing. That's where I go in my crack theories with.
So now you talked about freedom, right? Which was a really big thing of that scene.
Yep.
Now, one of the common things in stories is that the earlier you have something introduced, the more important it's going to be overall.
Yep.
Now, the very
freedom
first,
is like the very first
freaking line of the series is, on that day humanity received a grim reminder that, we lived in fear of the Titans and were, disgraced to live inside these cages we called walls.
Right.
So is that basically saying, like, the entire, like, is that the thesis statement of the
show?
Of the show?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I 100% agree. I feel like what's his name, Isayama, or however you say it. Yeah. He at the very least planted those themes in and likes those themes enough that even if he changed the story's like direction and ending a little bit, he's going to hold true to those themes all the way through. But yeah, that's basically the flashback thoughts that I have. I'm really interested in the fact that her flashbacks revealed that there's some other people out there, like some place out there, because those were not like that was not military police or any kind of guards or anything like that. And they kicked them off a wall.
Yes.
To become Titans.
And
that's not a thing that anyone here can do.
And Ymir ran for a long time.
I don't think that's really relevant.
Well, but just the idea that they implied that this is some,
Are you saying
distance.
That because that's the case, that means that the wall that they kicked them off of is land connected to the city that humans are currently in? Therefore, if the scouts journeyed in that direction...
well, maybe for a very, very long time.
For a very long time, they could actually... for 60 years.
That would suck. That's when we finally get a finale. It's actually about...
Here's the other thing, though. 60 years. Why 60 years?
What, do you think, like, there's some, like, special, like...
Yeah, think about it. Think about it, guys. Well, they mentioned that the Titans had been kind of dormant for 100 years in terms of they've had that.
Or at least they hadn't seen any of them. They'd
kept them if anything, the walls were enough to keep them away from that.
Yeah.
But that keeps Ymir within the timeline. She's within the 100 years thing.
Okay.
What if something, was actually important about what happened when Ymir was, changed and stuff? Maybe.
Wait, do you think that maybe the Beast Titan is older than the 60 years or the 100 years or whatever?
Beast Titan is older than
do you think they're going to go into something where it's like since the dawn of time?
I think they're going into a thing where humanity, when they face an extinction level event, a lot of history gets thrown into myth, basically.
And it did. The first episode is called like what? To you 1,000 years or 2,000 years in the future?
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
Whoa, that's... Wait a minute. It is?
Yeah.
Oh, good grief. My mind is racing now. Is it to 2,000 years or 1,000 years?
Well, let's check. We have that tab open for the... Do we have that
Yeah, there it is.
open?
If it is, I don't think it's...
To you in 2,000 years.
To you in 2,000 years, the fall of Shiganshina Part 1.
Yep.
Oh, my.
So...
Yes. Let's just say yes. For the sake of argument, yes. I think the Beast Titan is very old. I think there's some kind of, like, father Titan.
Okay.
Any good questions in the comments?
We had another question. So, now, you don't really, like... You made it a point not to watch the ending, really, after you saw it that first time. But any theories from the imagery that we got there of the people that were like eating flesh or something like that?
Okay, guys, I am not looking at those end credits. I looked at the whole thing once, and I don't want to look at it again. I got some serious vibes of like Evangelion, like some kind of like really weird stuff. And now I've said that Attack on Titan is a flesh mecha, right?
And Evangelion in a way was too.
Evangelion in a way was too. The Evas were not machines, guys. They were not machines. The Titans are not just things that they pilot. They actually are the people as well.
Wait a minute. Wait.
So
didn't the little capsule that they were in go in right about at the nape in Evangelion?
Yeah. Attack on Titan has plenty of Evangelion.
Oh my gosh,
stuff in there. But when I think about what they showed me, I saw the forced cannibalism with the kids and stuff. And that was like, oh, that's very interesting. It's more interesting now that I have the Ymir flashback and Ymir as a character. But what I saw in the other stuff, I'm like, they've never shown stuff like this in the other intros. In the other intros, guys, I'm sorry, they're not the intros, the outros. In the other outros,
it was like
they showed nothing really.
It was like
this.
Yeah,
this was them basically saying, "We've got a few seasons planned after this. We've got a few seasons planned after this." When I saw like really weird, like religious and kind of cult kind of symbolism and stuff, I'm like, oh no. I actually got a little bit worried. I'm like, this show is going full on Evangelion at some point, and we're all gonna like, hate this show at the end because it's gonna go full Lost or something. But before I, worry about that, I just don't want it to tarnish any of my theories about what's actually shown in the show because I'm going to interpret it in the wrong way. I just know I am. So with the end credit stuff, I watched it, I think, once all the way through. Mm-hmm. I watched a bit of the beginning like 3 or 4 times, and then I just stopped.
Oh, okay. Now, all right. Ending imagery. That's one thing. Beginning imagery. What in the bloody frack was that glowing heart thing? And
Wait,
not
you
just
don't know?
The Titans, but all the creatures. That was something that was not in the manga.
So it's not in the manga even now?
No.
What? So, yeah, it kind of weirded me out, but you're saying that it's not anything. It's just... It's like there's no connection to it in the manga.
Maybe
or
they
anything.
were. Maybe they were doing that just to be like impressionistic and just to make us be like, huh?
Wait, so
but
I don't think it necessarily means anything then because it went into animals, and animals are hard to animate. So they haven't shown like any animals in this show. Other than horses. Yeah, they have a serious horses. They have a serious thing for horses in this show because Jean. Yeah, horse face. So I don't think it means anything, but I think what it does maybe connect to is gives the Beast Titan a little bit of hints that the Beast Titan is some kind of
ancient being.
Ancient being, yeah.
Okay, sure. Yeah, because they did have dinosaurs in there, so it's like showing that like since the dinosaurs he's been around.
Not only that, he carries something that's in the heart of all things.
He is like the evolved being.
Yeah, sure. He's the original supreme perfect being, and to an extent, maybe it's not that the twist is that
it's not the father
humans.
thing?
No. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about that. Titans were created from humans. Maybe the twist at the end, this is where it goes Evangelion stuff, is that humans were created from Titans.
Ooh, and that could be really trippy because then it's like, and all you people watching, you guys came from Titans too.
Well, yeah, it has to have that full kind of Gynax ending where it just kind of makes you lose all semblance of sanity. I was waiting for that. Now you can see why we picked our name. It's a pun in and of itself.
It is.
It's so good.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Going forward. Yeah, so we're going to be getting season 3. Oh, who's smarter, Caleb or Armin? Who do you think's smarter?
Me or Armin?
Yeah.
Is it even okay to say me? Because like Armin is like me in that we're both verbal processors.
Yes.
We both like to talk about our thinking out loud. Mm-hmm. I do not do well when I'm having to think quietly. let's just say I wasn't good in school settings. Let's just say that. I got good grades and stuff, but I didn't like that sit quiet and think and do things. I'm like,
yeah.
So, I think Armin and I are similar in the way we think. I don't know who's smarter.
Someone said, Levi said both are equally smart.
That's okay. Cool. Yeah. I actually think to an extent I'm blessed with a really smart brother as well. One of the things that we're both good at is verbally processing our thinking here.
Yes.
And you guys are to an extent like missing out on his genius because he has to kind of hold back a little bit because he's read the manga.
Well, I have to hold back kind of a lot.
A lot, yeah.
It is very hard to do.
But go check him out on the My Hero Academia reactions and stuff, because he comes up with some really good ideas and stuff. In fact, I almost feel like we need to do a stream about My Hero Academia like this.
The people are itching for season 2.
No, we're watching season 2, but I'm saying like after season 2 and we're in hiatus.
Sure. Yeah. Oh, that would probably be a great time to go. Yeah,
and stuff like that. Because then we'll get to hear your theories and stuff as well. Because we have quite a few of them. We really love that show. But anyways, Attack on Titan. Where we're at right now going forward, I feel like we need to get into more of the inner workings in behind Walsina. So who is really behind the Wall cult and the Historia stuff? That whole thing needs to get completely opened up.
Yeah, they introduced the Historia stuff in this season
and didn't capitulate on it.
So that's a pretty good guess to say that it's at least going to be explored.
It's not only something that needs to be explored, it's something that needs to be important moving on into even the next season after that. Because if they just finish it in the next season,
then why hint at it
a season early?
Yeah, okay.
It has to be really big.
Yeah. All right.
So one of the things I would like for them to continue to do, is do what they did this season. Change the dynamic.
Ooh, yeah.
Really give that emphasis on a specific direction that the show is good at. Double down on the mystery element, us discovering more about the truth of not Full Metal Alchemist reference, just the truth behind what's going on here. Yeah, but also really doubling down on that side character development as well.
Yes,
I would like
that would be fantastic.
I would like to see a lot more Armin, a lot more Mikasa. I would like to see. I'd like to see some Jean.
Yeah,
I'd like to see some Erwin.
Sure.
I'd like to see some serious Historia development. I could almost see Reiner and Bertolt. Let's just move them out of the story. They escaped. They got away. Maybe bring them in at the end or something like that.
They like come in to rescue Annie or something like that.
Well, like not to rescue Annie, but to like have them. How would you do this? Have them basically rejoin up with the Beast Titan, and we have like a full-on group Titan on Titan battle. Ooh, no, that would be good. We have Annie and Eren against the Beast Titan, Reiner and Bertolt.
But would Annie actually like? Okay, so what you're saying is basically like Annie would be trying to convince Reiner and Bertolt to join their side, be like, no, like we do actually have a future within the walls.
Yeah, something like that. I'm gonna give you guys a real treat. Jacob's held back here a lot. Careful for spoilers. I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Just take a quick pee break here real quick. You go talk about anything manga related or whatever.
Okay.
Oh, wait, no, we can't do that.
No,
because we're gonna see this video.
Yeah, no.
Dang it!
I thought you guys would. That would have been very bad.
Like, oh man, because then I could never watch this video.
Right.
Dang it. Okay, well, either way, I'm gonna go to the bathroom real quick. Be back really soon.
Sounds good.
And you hold down the fort and
all right,
talk with everyone.
I'll just talk to you guys a little bit about shipping, I guess, because I don't ship that much, but I do ship more than Caleb. So, okay. Now, okay, so you guys know that I ship Eren and Mikasa, right? That has been like since the very beginning. That would be fun to do a manga only stream, but then Caleb wouldn't be able to watch it. But so okay. Now, one of the things that you guys might not Annie. Well, I can't ship her with Eren because, Eren and Mikasa, right? Annie and Armin could be cute. I like that could be pretty great. I could see that happening. But just a question. So, if you so in season 1, now I know that a bunch of people ship Reiner and Bertolt. In season 1, Reiner basically they're walking down to like get the rifles or something like that, and and Reiner's saying like, there's one other way to kill Titans. You shove your blade up their ass. And Jean's like, that may very well be your last last words of Reiner. But in the manga, it shows it in the panel. It shows Bertolt, and he's like, now, of course, it's like, okay, maybe it's just that Reiner's talking about Titans and they're Titans, so he's worried. But a lot of the shippers go crazy over the idea of, what if they mean that Reiner and Bertolt are, anyways. Yeah, you remember that one? But I think Annie and Armin could be really cute. Annie and Armin could be cute. I do also kind of ship Reiner and Krista. I think there's this part of me that thinks like maybe Krista can be Reiner's like redemption somehow. And I know that's like a bit like whack, but I think that could be pretty awesome. Anyways, Bertolt and Annie, for you, Bertolt, absolutely. But I haven't seen you guys interact much like at all, so that's the but that part, all
never give up on your dreams. Like
so far,
like a slap on Titan Kami. Connie knows to give up on his dreams. Aye!
But so far I do ship Bertolt with Annie, but I'm not sure if I ship Annie with Bertolt, if that makes sense. Like, yeah. Anyways.
That's great.
Yeah.
Okay, so despite the, massive kind of shipping thing here, stuff like that, I think we need to talk about the big highlights of the season now.
Oh, first off. Yeah. This is a ship you'll absolutely agree with. Matthew Coop talked about this one. A slab of pork and Sasha. That's
a slab of pork and
Sasha. That's
Sasha.
Some OTP stuff right there.
Yeah. I feel like she deserves more than just a slab of pork. She needs that grade A, like, high quality steak, filet mignon stuff.
Yeah.
She's not just gonna take a bite out of the pig, She needs that high quality stuff. Yeah. Sorry, guys. Okay. There's so many jokes to be made there. But anyways, the highlights of this season. I want to go over like the big scenes that
freaking Erwin, man.
No. We're building up to Shinzo Sasage.
Okay.
Let's bring up our trusty little reminder thing.
Mikasa
here.
Being a war goddess and almost curb stomping Reiner and Bertolt earlier.
No. We're going to the very beginning of the season. Beginning of the season. So when Jacob and I first watched the trailer,
I was a little bit disappointed that they did the reveal of the Beast Titan talking in the trailer. That would have been so freaking amazing.
The first one just showed the Beast Titan. The second one was that it actually had him talk, though.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And when he talked, that was when I basically realized, Titans and humans were probably the same thing. Like, it was basically there.
Sure. Well, and I mean, he's an ape, and it's the whole idea of like
evolution
and
the whole general progress of humanity. Yeah. But having a Beast Titan, having a Sasquatch Titan, essentially, is a fantastic choice.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
I mean, you've known about this in the manga for forever, but think about it. Oh no! Think about it in a story perspective.
Bloody awesome.
They're like, we're breaking new ground. Look, it's a female Titan.
Right.
And
now, not only in like just from a design perspective, you'd be like a Titan with hair. That's pretty crazy. And we hadn't seen any of them above 15 meters other than the Colossal Titan.
Yeah.
So it's like, 17 meters. So that probably means it's like, it's not a Colossal Titan, but it's...
Wait. The Beast Titan is taller
17 meters. No, it's not taller than the Colossal Titan. But the thing is, it's taller than any non-Colossal Titans we've seen.
Oh, right. Yes, that is true.
So
that is true. Okay, so, but I'm thinking about it from like the story perspective of, what does this mean now?
Do you know what would be awesome? If we saw Hanji, like, trying to talk to the Beast Titan during like a fight or something.
Well, see, the thing is, if you speculate about those things, I have to be like reading your face and like, Is he saying that because it's something that has happened, or is he saying something he's wanted to happen, which means it hasn't happened yet? Oh, the mind games. Anyways, yes, I agree. That would be fantastic. But what this Titan means for the show going forward is that we can't put limitations basically on the Titans.
Right. They're sort of showing that they can always do something crazier than what has been around before.
Which is like another bit of fuel towards the Evangelion.
That's true.
Theory.
When the angels first started showing up, they were kind of, whatever. Yeah. Then there were crazier ones.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we got the Beast Titan.
That's true.
He can control Titans.
Yep.
Sort of.
Still
working on it.
He can talk to them, but sometimes
but
they're
he
disobedient.
didn't recognize the maneuver gear.
He didn't. That's right.
Mm-hmm.
And if,
which means he's not from inside the walls, which
right.
is more fuel to he came from the other place, theory. With that, we now have him being able to talk and, to some extent, be kind of that Titan commander. He basically is the one that has the kind of the general kind of feel.
So he's like the anti-Erwin.
I don't know. But what he represents is that the Titans are an army with tiers and leaders.
Yes.
And
right,
structure associated with it. So it's not that they are coming in uncoordinated and with just,
Right, because before it was just, we had regular Titans, and then we had Titan shifting Titans, but it was just like, these Titans are better. There wasn't a sense of okay. Yeah.
So that's that. When we moved on into the next set of episodes, we saw very disturbing Titans kind of doing things that was like, oh man, Titans are scary again. But in particular, the scene with Connie's house.
Oh,
and what's probably his mom being
They've
turned...
almost said it. At the
they,
end of season
did,
2.
They did.
Straight up.
That's Connie's mom. She was turned into a Titan by the Beast Titan. Which is crazy. Because, one, that's scary. That's terrifying.
What
does that look like? Imagine that animated. The Beast Titan raises hands almost like the Night's King from Game of Thrones, and suddenly the humans just you guys can freeze frame on that. That's gonna be a gift. But by having that be even an element in this show, that's scary from a writing perspective, because now he can maybe just do that to whoever he wants. I hope that there's some kind of limitation.
Oh my gosh!
But what?
What if that ended up happening to, a main character as a way to kill them?
That'd be really sad.
The fate worse than death thing.
Sure. I mean, if anything, I almost think that's guaranteed to happen. But so that happens. We now start questioning, what are the Titans? What are humans? And that was really the point where Reiner really started to make mistakes and stuff. We hadn't even been to Utgard yet. He's like, ignore that, Connie. Do you realize where we are? We're soldiers. And I was like, Reiner, what are you doing?
Well, there was even this part in the very beginning when they're in the house and they're like, well, Rose has been breached. And Reiner and Bertolt just look at each other like, if I'm here and you're here,
that's true. That's
who
true.
breached the wall?
I'm curious to see if the words actually work in that direction, because I feel like the words were a little bit more subtle than that, because they actually are like, was the wall breached or something like that?
Well, yeah, it was probably something like that. But there's this point where they're like,
I didn't do it. You didn't do it.
Who did it?
Who did it? Yeah, that's a great point. But that fourth episode, Utgard Castle. We had Yamir and Reiner with the can of food and the strange language.
Yes.
Holy crap! I harped on that for so long.
Oh yeah.
That just got me so hyped. Wait a minute.
Yep.
This is big, and now we know it's from wherever that other place is.
Sure. Yeah.
Potentially.
Mm-hmm.
but that means there might be some communication also going back and forth. And that's what I think about the cult secret society, Historia and their family and all that.
Because that place was still inside
Wall Maria.
Yeah, inside Wall Maria.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
Not even inside Wall Maria. It's inside Wall Rosa as well. Because remember, they thought the wall had been breached.
Oh.
Yeah. So that's weird. Like, that's really weird.
Yeah.
So maybe there's like some super empire out there, and this is just one of the settlements that got separated from the group.
Sure.
And the reasons are unknown, but what have you. What?
Can I just point out though that because you made a good point. That whole part in Castle Utgard was amazing. And it kind of gets overshadowed when you think of the season as a whole, because it's right after that you have the Reiner and Bertholdt's reveal,
right,
and then you have all the other crazy stuff that happens. But I loved it. Reminded me of when they were trying to get gas in season 1, because they didn't have maneuver gear, right? So remember when they ran out of gas in season 1?
Sure.
Yeah,
mm-hmm.
I thought that was great because while the 3D maneuver gear is amazing and I love it and I totally want some for myself, they basically made it an even crazier survival game by taking away literally the one way they had to fight back against the Titans.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so then it's just there's a really small Titan that's coming in here, and we're like, how are they going to survive? What are they going to do? They can't do anything. And then Reiner did his whole awesome thing of picking it up and throwing it out the window.
Well, he let it bite his arm, kind of like when a dog's attacking you.
Yeah.
Hey, good tip, kids. If you ever have a feral dog attacking you, don't run. Don't try and scare it. You'll make it worse and stuff. Call for help, however you can. Put your arm out like this. Let it bite the arm. It's gonna hurt, but they're gonna think their arm, messing up your arm is you, and then you just go for its throat. That's what you have to do.
Yeah.
But this is him basically doing that because there's nothing else he could do.
Right.
But we now know he's a Titan, so
but
he wasn't worried about the injury and stuff. But it still was.
But even
totally
then,
badass.
and I'd have to look at that scene again, because depending on the extent of basically his mental condition, he might have completely written out the idea that he was a Titan, because Bertholdt talks about him and he's he's a soldier right now, but he reminds
used
him
to be more of a
warrior. Yeah. And but before that, so maybe Reiner actually was putting his life on the line to save Connie or Sasha or whoever it was.
Maybe whenever Bertholdt says that switches him back, and he remembers oh yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
In a way, it's interesting because that could form a little bit of animosity between him and Bertholdt, because let's say Bertholdt has to keep reminding him, and Reiner wants to forget. So he's like, "Shut up, Bertholdt. I'm tired of you reminding me." And then they end up kind of going their separate ways. That's another idea that I didn't think about. It's kind of interesting. But yeah, the Utgard Keep episode was really, really tense. Really tense. It was really good because they don't have their gas, like you're saying. They don't have their maneuver gear. It's the equivalent thing of that. They have to rely on the scouting regiment, Surveycon Legiment people to protect them, which, as we know from season 1, is you can't just fully put your faith in other people, because there's an impossible situation we're all up against, and the people will fail eventually.
Yep.
So by having it be a thing where all this time we've been wondering, why is Ymir so interested in Historia, we get the flashback of their whole thing. And not really their whole thing, but kind of just that little scene in the forest where it's more of talking about Historia, or Krista, as being kind of a Suzaku. Someone that's kind of got that...
Yeah, I think you commented on that.
It's a Code Geass thing. It's kind of someone that has a justice death wish.
Right.
They feel like that
they have to be the martyr. They
have to be the martyr.
Yeah.
And it's really... it's a good idea. It's really hard to do in a story.
Yes.
It's really hard to do it well. And I feel like they're not trying to do it all at once here. They're just trying to start and seed it. Get the beginnings of it right here. So if they can build that into the coming arc for Historia, that's fantastic. But what it really did was it gave us Ymir's, like, a little bit of a hint into her mystery. It's like, who is she?
Yeah.
And, oh, well, she's a Titan. I don't know. If you didn't clue in that she was a Titan when, you know, there was that big yellow glow.
Are you talking about when the lightning thing and she's actually transforming?
No, it just shows in the background.
Oh, yeah.
The shot, just big, like, woof, like yellow glow.
From
it's
the
like,
cliff, it's
well,
like...
she's a Titan.
Yeah. Like, I wonder what she could have done.
Yeah, what was that?
Yeah. Now, and thankfully, the way they set it up is that that's before they even knew that Titan shifting was a thing, because Eren hadn't gotten eaten yet.
Yep.
So, because otherwise, we would have been like, Krista, how dumb are you? Like,
she might not have seen it, though.
Well, she didn't.
She was knocked out. Remember?
Okay, that's true. But she still seemed to figure out
she could not have seen it. She was knocked out.
Right, but at the end, she still seemed to put two and two together that, did Ymir jump off the cliff? Like...
Yeah.
Like...
Yeah. I think also to an extent, their relationship gives them a little bit of secrecy. So she's not going to necessarily tell everyone that kind of thing because it's Ymir's thing.
Okay.
But when they brought it back to Utgard Keep, and they had her basically doing this where she was going to live for herself and just tear down the tower. First off, the Titan transformation was fantastic.
Yes.
Like, that whole shifting thing where they showed the skeleton and muscles and skin forming from that was so good.
And
it was done splendidly.
Also, shout out to the choreography when she was fighting the Titans, because up till this point,
good point.
What we saw was Eren basically being Eren and just smashing Titans, right? This was like her jumping around and like tearing out the napes and everything and slashing eyes and stuff. Like
yeah, it was more animalistic.
It was way more animalistic. Like no boxing stuff.
Right.
You know?
It felt really feral.
Yes.
And I liked that.
Oh, yeah.
So when she transforms, when I first initially saw the Titan, I was like, huh, it's kind of gimpy. Like, it's not something that's like a terrifying Titan. But I liked that because it shows maybe more of Ymir's Titan is not something that's crafted for a purpose of destroying humanity necessarily.
Sure.
Like think about it this way. The armored Titan is perfectly designed to break through the gates in the wall.
Right.
The colossal Titan is the perfect siege weapon that is almost untouchable. But Ymir's Titan is almost like this failed experiment. Like there's something that's like,
well, in a way, she wasn't supposed to be
she wasn't supposed to be a Titan. Yeah. So I don't know. It kind of touched upon that whole freedom thing again. She can make this Titan to be whatever she wants it to be.
Yep.
Even though the world may look at her as a monster. Those kind of themes there. Because her Titan did kind of have that monstrous kind of
and
gremlin kind of goblin look. You know, she can choose how to make that you know, happen and stuff like that.
Wait just a sec.
Anything
interesting? Hold on just a second.
I'll just pull up my phone here while you take a look at the comments and stuff.
Yeah.
Do you want to do more questions and stuff since we're nearing the halfway point, or should we wait until after Reiner and Bertolt transformation is talked about?
I am going to just
I'm just gonna someone?
Well, maybe just a little bit. Okay. Yeah. Oh,
Keep
wow.
Keep it civil, guys. Keep it civil.
Well, it's also people like doing spoilers and stuff, so
we can't stop the spoilers. But one of the cool things is that all these comments on the live stream will not carry over into the actual video.
Yes. Ha ha ha. But yes.
I don't mind if they talk about spoilers. I'm not going to see that.
Well, no, but it's also spoiling some of the people in the comments. So
okay. Fair warning, people. If you're on this stream, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I mean, we'll try and save you, or at least
no. I'm sorry. I can't. Well, I can't. So I can't guarantee anything either.
Right.
So it's not necessarily the best place to be.
But don't spoil people. Like be a bro. You know,
be cool about it.
Yes.
But yeah, the internet. The internet is dark and full of spoilers. Yes.
And scary fan fictions.
That's true. Okay, so let's jump ahead and talk about Reiner and Bertolt transformation. So, guys, we need to acknowledge how good this twist reveal was.
Like, you could tell that Isayama was like he had been thinking about this for a long time. He's like, how do I want to do this? Like,
but not only that, contextually, we went and, well, at least I did, went and looked back, because you already know all this stuff, went and saw all the hints from season 1, all the little things that they were teasing us with, and they were just layered right there. All I had to do was just open my eyes and see it.
Yep.
There was so much building up to this that I appreciate it, that there's nothing out of left field from this. This was planned. This was purposefully crafted, like you said. But the way they handled it, by having there be no dramatic build up of music or any kind of dramatic camera angles. In fact, they focused the camera on other characters.
They did.
When they actually revealed that they were the armored and colossal titan. I've never seen that before.
That was
Have you anyone in the comments, Jacob can see it. Anyone ever seen anything like that before?
It was so good.
It was
I love how even while the reveal is happening, it's not like people immediately turn or are like, wait, armored titan, what was that? You know, it's
they're on a tall wall, there's wind all around.
Exactly. They're just going along like they don't know what's happening. And then Mikasa's like, wait, my Eren sense is tingling, something's wrong.
Yeah, Mikasa's little Aaron's sixth sense is like, she's like, wait. What is that? Is that the pink-haired girl?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She does have kind of that, Mikasa does have that kind of yandere, like...
But it's just it's just a pinch, though. It's like she's not trying to be that, like...
Well, then there's that part where she's staring at Bertolt. Well, that was a yandere death stare for sure.
Absolutely.
Okay, so but the twist reveal was set up in such a way that it was crazy, because Reiner is crazy.
Yep. And they weren't. I love that they weren't on board with it. Bertolt's like, wait, what are you doing? Like, we're seriously doing this right now.
That was when Reiner's like actually just going ahead and transforming without even asking him.
Well, yeah, that's true.
That's when Mikasa hasn't even attacked them yet. At this point, Reiner just starts talking, and Eren's like, what? And then Bertolt's like, Reiner, what are you doing? And then they do the little flashback, and then Eren's like, yeah, you're just tired.
Yeah.
You're like, what are you saying? Like, I mean, even if you were the, armored titan,
you wouldn't actually believe I'd go home with you, right?
Yeah,
I hate that.
I think I just could say, yeah, sure, let's go along. And they're kind of like, yeah, I guess that's what it was. Yeah, I was tired.
And then was that when Mikasa like came in and like freaking...
Mikasa had that stare like this. She was like really creepy, just like, I'm watching, because they all know that they're the Titans, but she's watching to make sure they don't do anything.
Right.
Because they've been watching them this whole time due to the stuff they learned from the female Titan excursion, that whole adventure.
Yeah.
So what that transformation, or the twist did, was it changed the whole direction of the season. We're kind of repeating ourselves. We did say that. But by having it be this sort of casual dropping of the twist and stuff, we get all this buildup sort of pent up within us, because we're like, what is actually going to happen? We don't know, because they're not showing any signs of aggression. They're not showing any signs of, now we're going to exact our evil plan. There's nothing planned about it.
And because
we can't predict it.
Yeah, because it's so random, we're just like, whatever's happening next, something's gonna happen. But
yeah, and it was pent up to the point where then when Reiner lunges after Eren and Mikasa comes over his shoulder,
oh my gosh,
like a harbinger of death itself, with those eyes and both her blades out ready to hack them to pieces. We lost it.
Oh my gosh,
I felt something something like a bolt of electricity just go right through me, and I was like stiff, just frozen, just like, what is happening?
Oh my gosh.
The fact that they chose to handle it in such a way where they built it up without really building it up, and then just exploded all in a single second. Like, other shows should take note.
Yes, absolutely.
Other stories and shows that have this kind of thematic kind of thriller aspect should take note.
That would be so fantastic to see something like this happen.
But it only works if they've actually planned it like this. So I'm just saying,
yes.
when you're writing a show or something, take note. All I'm saying is I was inspired. If I ever write a story, I want to take notes from this. I have written a couple things here and there, but I've never actually finished any of them. So that kind of thing. So, like, you're writing your story, and you've probably taken at least some inspiration in some things from Attack on Titan.
Absolutely. Attack on Titan was one of the first anime I watched, actually, because I watch a lot of anime now, but that was mainly because I watched Attack on Titan and was like, I need to find something else like this. I had seen, like, at that point, I'd seen a bunch of Naruto, Bleach, Black Lagoon, Cowboy Bebop. Or no, Cowboy Bebop was after Attack on Titan. Dang.
Wow.
Wow.
You had a big gap where you didn't watch any anime, basically.
Yeah, I had a big gap where I was just like, Attack on Titan was like everything, and I was just fanatical about it. But yeah, so everything they did to build this up was just so good.
Okay, so then we have the fight that happens from that. I like how they handled the characters and stuff, with Bertolt being uneasy about it, Mikasa, just going to kill them.
Yeah.
But this fight in particular, I want to give not more shout out to, but I want to just applaud them for not doing something stereotypical. By having a grappling fight, I mean, there was a lot of
there was
really
a lot
of punchy, smash kind of typical stuff in there in the beginning. But when the fight started happening, and it was really happening, it was a grappling battle. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That's like actual MMA fighting.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff where we look at this and go, this is choreographed. They thought about this too. This fight was planned. Because any fight that involves two people with super strength would end in 10 seconds of any grappling. Maximum. That's as long as it would take.
Right.
And that's basically what happened in this fight. People are like, oh, it's a bit of a short fight or something. It was kind of anticlimactic. Or Eren randomly was way too smart and strong because he used Annie's moves, and that's kind of a cop-out.
But we had already seen him do that, like, just from
but that was how the fight was going to go anyway.
Well,
it had to go that way into some kind of grappling. And based on the fact that Eren had transformed in recent times, whereas Reiner hadn't transformed since he didn't even transform for Trust. He hasn't transformed into a Titan since Shiganshina, basically.
Yeah. So
Eren's gotten to practice. Reiner, I'm just guessing, was a little rusty.
Sure.
And I chopped that up to being, that's all the explanation we need. This is very well, it very well makes sense. But the fact that Reiner still had the strength to move him underneath where the Colossal Titan was, and then Bertolt just kind of falls on them, I was like, well, that's perfect.
Yeah.
It was a 2-on-1 fight, and even though Bertolt didn't transform fully into the Colossal Titan, which I think actually for reasons people kept like saying in the comments of some of the things, like, why isn't Bertolt going to transform? Why is he going to do it? Things like that. And I'm like, well, he has the bulkiest, most awkward Titan of them all. I'm guessing he can barely even walk. Like, not that he can't walk, but like
we have never actually seen him walk.
We've never actually.
He just transforms, kicks in a wall, and goes.
Yeah. So he's not mobile at all. So by him kind of transforming just the top half on top of the wall was basically him protecting them from any of the scouts coming in with his hot steam and stuff.
Sure. Yeah.
So great stuff for that.
Yep. Because, if you think about it, okay, I loved the Armored Titan design because, for any of you that don't know, I have a huge hard-on for armor.
Mandalorians.
I absolutely love it.
He's
That is a
Mandalorian guy.
major plot point in the book I'm writing. But so when they had this Titan that was armored and he had that like mask and stuff, like I was just like, this is awesome, right? But like with something like Eren, how in the bloody heck is he gonna fight something that is just as big and just as strong as him and is completely covered in armor? Like, you don't. So he used grappling, and that really would be the only way to beat it.
Yeah.
It's just that was really good. Yes, Mandalorians, high five. Yep.
Yeah. Send all your Mandalorian love to him because he
exactly.
really loves anything and everything Mandalorian and stuff. In fact, I've been trying to entice him to move Star Wars Rebels up on our reaction list just because, there's the Mandalorian stuff in there.
Oh.
So he's like, oh right, yeah, huh, See, I know how to get him excited and stuff like that. Okay, so with the next episode, we then take a bit of a backstory part for Mikasa and Armin, and they had a bit of Hannes in there as well.
That was awesome.
And like the thing is that while unfortunately it was obvious they were setting up Hannes to die by bringing him back into the story like that. I know Hannes was the one that was helping them search along the wall for a breach and stuff like that. So yeah, he was there. But it was kind of a sudden side character plus sudden character development equals
horrible tragic
death.
Yes. But
by specifically having it be for building the strength of the Holy Trinity, as I call them.
Yes.
That was needed.
Absolutely.
Because up until that point, Armin had basically done nothing except in the flashback where he, kind of figured out that Reiner was the...
right. Yeah, Armin's biggest moment so far... Other than everything that happened in the finale of the season, was probably his speech when they were going to shoot Eren with the cannon. And he had his whole moment of like...
Oh, in the whole show. Yes,
like in the whole show. That was probably his biggest moment. Like, so... Giving him more screen time is like a definite boon.
Yeah.
Because he needs that. Like Mikasa got her moment in her other episodes, and then she didn't really get anything either for the rest of the show.
Well, the thing is, Mikasa also has backstory. That was why I was saying previously, like, who do you want to see more screen time of? I'm like, Armin.
Yeah, that's
Armin.
true.
We still didn't even know his backstory because he had that one kind of grandpa, dad guy.
Yeah, he kind of just has the same backstory as Eren.
His parents are dead or something.
Right. I know, right? That really worked out for us.
Oh my gosh. Okay, but having that little bit of a backstory part, I also feel like was the weakest point in the show.
Okay.
Not necessarily a horrible point in the show, but that episode with maybe a slight tie being the backstory bit with Yamir and Krista, just because it was kind of repetitive at some parts.
I would have said maybe episode... Well, okay, so episode 1 ends with Mike dying, right? So I almost would have said that like episode 2, because I think that's before Utgard.
Yeah, it is.
And if I'm pretty sure that's like
stuff?
Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, we got Sasha and Connie. That's right. Okay, so never mind.
Anyways, so that part with them getting that needed backstory was something that we had kind of seen before, in kind of Mikasa beating up bullies and Hannes being a drunk soldier, but kind of, he's our drunk soldier.
Yeah.
He watches out for them. He's a pseudo dad,
Right.
This is not my father,
but he's still a better dad than Aaron's dad.
Well, yeah.
At least he was around.
Grisha kind of has the same thing of like the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood dad who basically like left before the plot became interesting, and is probably going to come back at some point when the plot
is interesting.
When the plot is interesting, yeah.
Yeah.
But anyways, Hannes setting him up to die. They did it early enough that it wasn't ham-fisted. It was done well. So
That's
I appreciate
that. Is
that.
True.
They gave some really good, kind of almost cute emotional moments with Mikasa regarding Eren. But Mikasa and Armin talking together on the wall with Hannes was was the point in that
Yes.
episode that was the most important.
Yeah.
And then them finally just, you know, kind of being like, yeah, this is what we're gonna do, and then they eat the bread.
Yeah.
I was so excited. I'm like, yeah, you eat that bread. Like, let's do this. Let's go. Yeah.
Sasha's standing in front of them like, good work.
I've taught you well.
Yeah.
Okay, so
now,
after that we then have Reiner and Bertolt and Ymir and Eren, and I really wish Eren would have learned a bit to kind of let them talk a bit.
Yeah, it's like it's great because it's not the best thing to do for him. Like, oh my gosh, the things he could have learned if he just shut up.
If he just shut up and didn't try to alienate Ymir or even try to reveal his motivations at this point, like try to even play along with them, he could have learned so much, and vicariously we would have learned it too.
Exactly.
But he didn't, because he's Eren, and he's got to kill them all, so...
He tried, but, you know, that didn't last very long.
Right, so to his credit, there's a lot of emotion with this whole thing.
Yeah.
It's not going to be easy to do that. But Ymir started really kind of playing both sides, and that was my favorite part of the episode.
That was
watching her being, like, completely aware of both things, but you can tell that she's choosing her words carefully.
Yeah.
When she mentioned the Beast Titan, she said, "What was the deal with that ape?"
Yeah.
And Eren's like, "The hell? What?"
Right.
Ape?
She didn't say Titan.
She didn't say Titan.
That's his trigger word.
Yeah, yeah. And Titans are my trigger. Yeah. He was completely confused, but Reiner and Bertolt were kind of like, we don't want to talk about that. Yeah. And Ymir's playing on both sides was, you know, favored well when Bertolt started talking. Yeah. Which was good.
Right.
Too.
And to be fair, Bertolt probably, someone made a point, Maximus, that Reiner and Bertolt probably wouldn't have blurted out their plans like Bond villains, but Reiner might have. I feel like Bertolt was the one that stopped
Bertolt would have stopped him, but Reiner might have slipped a word or two.
Not that Eren would have been able to.
I'm not saying that he would have gesticulated and been like, "Yes, my machinations and my plans, they're all coming to fruition." They're child soldiers. Yeah. They're not commanders. It's this... They were put into this sick situation for whatever reason, and they are not masterminds. And that was so good. I was so glad they didn't do that.
Yeah.
But I'm meaning that they still could have dropped intel, you know, like info. Even Ymir might have stepped up and been like, "Whoa, shut up, Reiner. Like, we're not supposed to talk about that." And then Eren would have been like, "Ymir, you too?" Kind of like, "You're with them?" It's like, well, I know things. And that when Ymir started to, you know, kind of be like, she knows a lot, Eren did the dumbest thing possible, which was like, "You have to tell me. What is it you know?" Like,
"I don't have to tell you, Jack."
And she was just like, who knows? Yeah, and that was when I was like, "Oh, well, Eren's useless now until the scouts come," because they basically closed off that part of the conversation. But the fact that Ymir seemed to have that kind of kinship with them because of maybe shared experiences in that other place or what have you, it really elevated the three of them up on my list of favorite characters just as a group.
So did you get at all kind of like, not really Zuko vibes, but if you remember in episode 3 of Avatar: The Last Airbender, we take this character who's been the angsty teenager antagonist, right?
Yep.
And give him an enemy. Give him, you know, basically give him something.
Give him his own antagonist, so he becomes the protagonist of his story.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Now, they didn't really do that, but I feel like they kind of
There's an anonymous antagonist of sorts with whatever group they came from.
Right. Well, but also like...
they made them be child soldiers.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. That's just so messed up.
Well, and then also the fact that Reiner basically has to struggle with his mental thing, and then Bertolt has to struggle with the fact that the one person who like he's supposed to be coordinating with and knows like their secrets and stuff.
Maybe that's why he liked Annie.
Sure.
Annie would be someone that he could actually talk to about things.
And actually depend on.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Whereas Reiner, he's just like, I have to more babysit him to make sure that he doesn't screw up.
Sure.
Which, you know, Reiner probably wouldn't screw up. He would just forget things, you know?
Yeah, yeah.
Which, that's a great point. That's a very great point.
Yeah.
Okay, so after that, we then get into the stuff where
Yamir goes after Krista.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So, were you terrified, or were you terrified when Connie is like on Ymir's
I was
Titan?
saying that in the episode.
Like,
yes. Oh my gosh.
Because that is totally a way that they could kill off Connie, and just be like, no, like he's an idiot, but he's our idiot.
They all jumped on Yamir when they were trying to escape through the forest because the scouts made haste. They were really moving fast.
Mm-hmm.
And when they got there, Connie, I was particularly worried for him because he like got up in her face and stuff, and I'm like, whoa. I think she's just got enough sense to not attack them because there's a lot of them nearby, and particularly Mikasa.
Right. Yes. That probably wouldn't have gone well.
Right. That probably wouldn't have gone well. But the fact that in that quick little jump scare of a moment, she jumped after, Historia. That was fantastic. Mm-hmm. Now, I know that we're skipping the whole flashback of Ymir and all that. I almost think that's like season 3.5 material. Like there's too much in there that can be really discussed in relation to season 2.
Well, so some of that stuff was not like it was taken from further ahead in the manga.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like
further or just kind of further?
Like pretty recently.
Okay. So they just decided it was relevant to bring it up here.
Exactly. And it made for a great scene, but like people were freaking out.
Oh, they were?
Yeah. They were like, what the hell are they doing? Like they're like, what? Like it was almost like Bertolt, like, really? Are we doing this now?
Guess so.
Yeah.
Studio wit. They're just like, people have waited a long time. Yep. Let's really whet their appetites with some like juicy tidbits.
Yeah, I was a bit surprised when I saw that. I was like, I okay. Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. But I almost want to just go ahead, go straight to the finale and stuff, because
that.
Oh my word, the Erwin charge scene. Okay, so you know what the rule of cool is, right?
As the cool factor goes up, the need to explain goes down.
This was something where we had all the context for why Erwin would do this. This is who he.
Yep.
This is who he is.
Yep.
There is nothing out of character for this here, but the fact that Attack on Titan saved their quote unquote episode 5 kind of hurting someone we care about moment. All the way up until now was so shocking that I think I had subconsciously taken Erwin off of the people that can die list.
Sure, because his eyebrows carry humanity.
Really, I didn't think he could be hurt because when I think about him, he's the commander, right?
Yes.
So he's the commander. When I think of commanders, I think of someone leading from the back, kind of thing.
Right, but Erwin
doesn't do that. He's Theoden. He's Theoden from Lord of the Rings. He leads from the front. He charges and screams death and blood and everyone's going to die, but it's going to be awesome. And everyone charges with him because that's the power of his presence and who he is.
And the military police just look on and say, that crazy bastard.
Yeah, they're like, those scouts are insane.
Yeah.
But that charge did save humanity, I'm guessing, because if Reiner and Bertolt and Ymir had gotten away with Eren,
that would have been bad.
What would they have been left with? Like really, I unfortunately have to agree that in this case, having the story revolve that much around the main character, it works.
Yep,
it works
because it's not just that for some reason you are the main, you are the
chosen one of
you destiny. Are the special, but it's no, in this case, well,
he's their only weapon they have.
Yeah.
It's kind of the thing.
And apparently he has this coordinate thing too.
Right. That comes in later. But the thing that makes it...
Yeah. They can't rely on Mikasa and Levi all the time.
Yeah.
That was... And okay, so he pointed out something a while back about the animation in this part. There was a part where basically,
oh my gosh,
because okay, the whole idea of Reiner running and carrying Bertolt and Eren and all that, and then Erwin leading the Titans around so that the Titans and the Surveykon Legiment all crash with Reiner in the middle. Holy freaking crap. Like, that's about as chaotic as it gets. And they went all out in the animation. You were saying there was a point where...
so there's a point, this is really funny. It's dark, but it's funny. There's a part where the charge happens, and the scouts are all, it's after Suzume, Shinjo Sasageo happens, and Erwin's, like, telling them to continue on, because Eren's right there. They charge... The Titan's hands are like coming through, and Mikasa's like barely getting past to get to Eren. But Titans and horses basically end up colliding with each other in these crazy ways, so much so that like a horse like bucks a person off, which like lands right into a Titan's hands, which sweeps through and hits another person, where the person like falls down underneath their horse and gets trampled. And it's just this crazy little like 5-7 second little clip, but whoever decided to animate that had to do a lot of work to make it all work with the physics and stuff. But it's like, that's the craziness of what combat is like. And I was describing it to Jacob in relation to something really crazy that happened in a live action show recently, which was Game of Thrones. We had Battle of the Bastards when Jon Snow is waiting there for them all to charge in, and then horses crashing against each other and people flopping all over the place, and it's just this chaos of battle. The main point I'm trying to make is that Attack on Titan hasn't done that before. They just show chaos where Titans grab humans out of nowhere and they just kind of die. But they haven't shown it where like the humans' own battle formations were not coordinated enough to actually go correctly, and then a Titan's hand coming in screws up and causes this little chain reaction of violence and chaos that's just, it's funny in a way because that's how sad and depressing war is, but also just like how little things like that can just spill over and become kind of big and stuff.
And like details like that we didn't see in season 1. Like if you remember in season 1, they knew how to like have the main points be awesome, but there were a lot of still images. There were a lot of like Jean's super long legs, when he's standing behind the horse, like sure. But they didn't have that this time, and it paid off big time.
They also had a lot of moments where they shifted the perspective to a pseudo 3D view to show them all on horses,
bird's eye
traveling
view,
and
like
stuff. Yeah, that was done pretty well too. But okay, Mikasa having her emotional attachment to Eren be a weakness here was good. I'm glad they didn't kill her.
Yeah,
but she charged in. She's just, I'm gonna kill you, Bertolt.
And
Bertolt has this terrifying no, and he like barely dodges her swing, and then Eren's like, Mikasa, and she looks and grabs, crunch. I'm guessing that they're basically one by one kind of nerfing, so to speak, they're really good fighters.
Yeah.
So now Levi's been injured and now Mikasa's been injured. Unless they're doing some kind of time skip, they're going to be out of the story for a little bit of time for regards to fighting.
When I read that in the manga, I freaked out so much because Mikasa's my favorite character, right? And I was like, no, they're not gonna like kill off Mikasa at this point. And yeah. There's a hilarious little bit of art where John then saves her, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then afterwards, he's like, "Is there any way that you would like reward me for saving you?" And and he goes to kiss her, and then she pulls a horse over, and he kisses the horse.
Oh, the Attack on Titan fandom is just so funny.
It's just little things like that warm my heart.
That's funny. Okay. Yeah. Well, that whole fight, that whole terrifying episode was something else.
Oh, yeah.
But then the Smiling Titan shows up.
Well, okay, before that. Armin's speech to Bertolt.
Oh,
That.
yeah.
Oh, man.
Okay.
Like,
Armin had his moment there. We had nothing of Armin up until that point, basically. Nothing. Like, yeah, nothing.
and boy, did he make up for lost time.
And him insinuating that they were doing all those things to Annie is basically psychological terrorism.
Yeah.
They were planting little bombs off in Bertolt's head to where he would absolutely, again, lose all semblance of sanity. Sorry, that's the last time I do it. I promise. At least for this stream. But when Bertolt lost it, I was like, thank you.
Because we hadn't seen much from him
Not just
before.
because it had to work, because, it was the protagonists doing it, but because it showed a different side of Bertolt that he is human still.
Yep.
And he's like, you devils, you monsters. He, like, calls them something.
Spawn of Satan or spawn of the devil. Yeah.
Spawn of the devil. Holy crap.
Yeah.
That's oddly specific.
Oh, yeah, but that's a great point. We have to talk about Bertolt's speech. When they all land on Reiner's like hands and he's protecting them, and Connie and Jean are like, "What was it? Was it all a lie?" Like,
don't make me cry.
Oh my gosh.
That was actually, because I was in so much shock from that episode. I think I missed the gravity of what was actually happening there.
Yeah,
because okay, Jean was Jean or whatever. He was the first person to show up because Bertolt was saying, "Hey, Aaron, calm down, stop struggling."
Yeah.
And then Jean's like, "I don't know if you can do that, man.
Yeah.
He's not. That's not who he is. He's always going to be struggling." And trust me, I would know. I loved that because it brought some levity and some humor to the whole thing. But then when Connie started to be like, "What was it all about?"
Like us talking about growing old and
Yeah. Was it all a lie? Because okay, think about it this way. There is off-screen development that happened, right?
Right.
We can't see it because it's off-screen. But when this happens, they're basically making up for the fact that it was off-screen by explaining what it meant to them, not what it was. Because it doesn't matter about Bertolt's silly sleeping positions and stuff. It's the idea that they noticed things like that, that they cared about little things like that. Those details are what carry character interactions forward when you don't get to see the development happen.
Yeah.
It's important. And it actually affected Bertolt because he's like, what would you have done? Like, who do you like? What do you think we are? Like, do you think
do you think we wanted to do this? Do you think we enjoy
No.
killing people? I love that because, think about it. If any of the other characters had been put in a situation like that, where they were forced to be child soldiers at a young age, because Bertolt and Reiner,
Aaron would have made it. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't know. Maybe he would have gotten a different set of rage, exterminate.
Well, I'm
thing.
just
Who
saying,
knows? But
it's interesting because we have our protagonist as someone that's on this rage vengeance spree.
Yeah.
But it doesn't seem like Reiner and Bertolt are like that at all.
Yeah.
And if anything, it feels like they're saying that these people behind here are kind of the ones that are actually evil because of whatever reason, but also there's no future there. It's kind of like saying they understand that they're all in a cage and they can't just
they don't
free
think
them
there's
out.
any way out.
Well, no. I'm saying that the people in the walls, they're in the cage, and they can't just go in and say, "Leave the walls. You guys shouldn't be back here." They're basically saying, there's no hope for them because they would cling to the walls. They would cling to the cage.
Oh, okay.
So it's actually really, it might be even more psychologically disturbing than that. It's that once a person becomes so accustomed to a cage, it's kind of the thing of the it's the only thing
elephant. Yeah.
It's kind of like the elephant that's chained to a place, and then over time the elephant gets accustomed to the chain, and then they take off the chain and just put a little string there.
Yeah.
The elephant could easily break free, but
it
just won't because it believes that the prison is permanent.
Yeah, or what was it? It was like the lion or the tiger or something that was in a cage, and all day it would pace back and forth along the length of the cage, right? And people were like, "This is horrible. Let's put him in let's give him an actual bigger space, right? An open space." And he still paced the same amount back and forth.
Wow.
And now here's a crazy thing. So that for the humans and the people in the walls. What if Reiner and Bertolt have something similar, where they see themselves as being in a cage that they can't escape from.
Yeah, they're child soldiers.
Right, because this is the only life they've ever known.
Yeah, they're child soldiers, Jacob. Yeah. Whoever is behind them is more evil than they are, because they sent kids to do what they weren't willing to do.
Right.
So they're willing to have it be done, but they weren't willing to do it.
Yeah.
There might be some reasoning behind that, but it still doesn't matter. They ordered it.
Yep.
And kind of that whole military, I'm following orders thing is good to kind of think about, because if Reiner was 12, I think that's about right. 12 when he did this, and Bertolt was either the same age or
like 11.
Or 11. Yeah. That's Edward and Alphonse when they transmuted their mom.
Yeah.
That's the same kind of psychological disturbance. So I hope it gets explored more. And Bertolt having this moment sets up the arc. So in a way, that's why I think only one of them will die, is because one of them deserves some closure. Although this is Attack on Titan, so both could die.
Yeah.
But to be fair, Attack on Titan is giving their characters a little bit more plot armor recently.
That's true.
So who knows? Can we please just talk about my favorite scene though?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like
we might be skipping a little bit of things here and there, but I honestly, a lot of what happened at the very end of the last episode, I'm not like, ooh, that's something we need to discuss or something. I just want to discuss Eren and Mikasa's scene.
Yep.
Particularly because it hits multiple points perfectly. Now, you said this was one of your favorite scenes of everything ever.
Yeah.
Like,
the only one that might compete would be if I were to put all of Mikasa's like stuff focused in episode 6 and 7 together.
Okay, cool. So this scene is something that was never happened in Attack on Titan before.
Nope.
Never.
Not once.
Never, ever, ever. Not for any character, not even any kind of similar parallel thing to it. This is a point where the character hits the all-time low of despair. Okay? Eren has hit his despair moment. And instead of basically finding some new... Like, he didn't unlock the coordinate through his despair, you know?
Right.
Instead, he didn't have some kind of moment where he randomly powered up or he just fought through it with his rage or something. He actually broke down and
he started laughing.
Well, yeah. The voice actor, or is it voice actress? I don't know. Is Eren voiced?
No, he's voiced by a dude. Yeah.
Okay. Did a fantastic job. Did an incredible job. The amount of guttural, visceral emotion that was in that just scream, that cry, that I know the episode was called Scream, but like
I heard he tore out like he hurt his vocal cords.
Yeah, I heard that too. So that kind of work that you have to put into it just needs some kind of recognition. It's fantastic.
Yes.
But what I felt in that was I felt him basically staring into some kind of abyss where there was nothing he could do to pull anyone he cared about out of it. Yeah. So in that moment, he forgot all about Armin. He forgot all about Mikasa. He forgot about everything and probably might have just shut down and just died. Yeah. Mikasa is hurt at this point. She physically cannot save him, so she has to rely on Hannes to do this. This is the same kind of thing that we've seen with the scouts, where, you know, if you over rely on this, you know, the other people to save you, it's not going to work. Right. Because you have to fight. If you don't fight, you lose. That's one of the themes
that
of Mikasa.
That is something that Eren literally said in the first season.
Exactly. And they repeated it again with Mike in the very first episode of this season. When Mikasa basically uses the anime powers of freezing time to tell very important plot related lines, this one was so perfect. It was better in my opinion than Armin's, because Armin's did the same thing, but it was an attack. Right. This was a restorative thing. So Eren up until this point has been on some kind of vengeance quest, you know. And this is the object of his hatred, basically, specifically this Titan. So by Isayama deciding that this Titan would show up again is like fate. It's time and destiny bisecting.
It's Joseph Campbell, like hero's journey coming full circle.
Exactly. Yep. And by having it be with the same people that were there, Mikasa, Hannes, on the bed of flowers that was like exactly the same.
Yeah.
This scene showed that there was actual development about to happen. And a lot of people will be like, oh, the development was the coordinate, or the development was the relationship between the two of them. In that there's, you know, the romantic side of it, which I agree. There's that sexual tension in there. I don't really care to explore it. I know he thinks it's interesting, but like the point I want to make is that scene is the first real bit of deep character development that we have seen for Eren.
Yeah.
And when your main character is this important in the story, that's huge.
Yep.
Huge. And more so, it wasn't just that she gave him a pep talk. Because we've seen those kinds of things. It's like Kamina, you know. Kamina and Gurren Lagann, he gives those great pep talks. And they're so powerful. And they're just, they're so good.
Yeah.
It'd be like Kamina, and it just, it feels amazing. But Mikasa instead just poured out her heart.
Yep.
She just opened up and decided to be vulnerable. And Mikasa has always had a hard time expressing her feelings due to the trauma that she's had. And she's basically realizing that, in a way, as they're putting their faith in Hannes, she's deciding, this is how I love Eren. I'm putting my faith in him here, right now. Mm-hmm. Even if you don't believe yourself, I believe in you. It does have that common believe in the me that believes in you thing.
Right.
But it's beyond that because she loves him. Like there is self-sacrificing, compassionate love there.
Yep.
And it's strong. It's not some just crush, you know. It's deep, it's powerful. And it's not just because he gave her a scarf or saved her life that one time. It's because he's always been there.
Yep.
And that's what she says in the scenes. Like, you've always been by my side. So when this scene happened, I lost it emotionally. It's so good because we haven't had this.
No, we haven't.
And if they have anything close to this building upon that, which to an extent, I'm guessing that there's not going to be anything nearly as good as this because this is your favorite scene. So it's got to be the best, example of it. It's just important for the show. Yeah. I'm sure there will be more going forward of stuff like this. But Eren refused to die. So Mikasa basically said she was okay with dying in that moment if only she could pour out her heart to Eren. Eren was in despair, and he was okay that he was dying if only he could basically ignore all of this because he couldn't look at it. It was just too much. So he starts to break down. Mikasa helps him. He then is pulled out of the abyss shrinks to nothing, and instead of basically resigning to die with her, which would have been romantic, it would have been beautiful, it wouldn't have been Eren.
Right.
And when he decided to do whatever he could to stop this object of his hatred in front of him, he did it with the knowing that it would still probably kill him. But because he did it in this way, it wasn't in his rage. It was basically him saying, I'm done. I'm done being beaten by you, by whatever this object is. So I could see him moving beyond his hatred from this point. Because this point happened. He can look back on it and go, this is why I can be more than just someone that hates Titans. I can actually be a friend to Mikasa. I can actually be someone that cares about others. And when he used the coordinate power, it was just kind of apropos because
it was the personification of that.
It was the plot reason to help it actually work.
Right.
Now, what is the coordinate? Don't know. It's some kind of the reason why it's called coordinate that makes it funny is, you know how he has the key of plot relevance that kind of shows up on his neck every once in a while. I think this is just a key thing. This is another key thing because the key, I think, is a symbol for just Eren being the key to the whole thing.
Sure.
But the coordinate is the actual key, and the coordinate is basically just whatever happened when Eren's dad injected him and whatever, and Eren got the Titan powers. So the Titans go and kill the Smiling Titan, and it's very gratifying and it's very satisfying.
Yep.
But because that Titan is dead, what if Eren actually is able to grow now? Like, what if he's actually able to stop being an immature, just person like this? What if this is the beginning of his arc, actually, for kind of becoming a well-rounded leader as well? I would just be thankful for that. I feel Mikasa, unfortunately, got a little bit gypped because, she really does love him. And he, to an extent, said, I can't do this right now. I can't just die with you. That's, I think, important. It's not that it's not separated that he can't be with her and that he can't just die. It's both. It's the combination of I can't die here with you. Not right now. There's still stuff I have to do. Mm-hmm. And it's a little bit kind of cheesy and chosen one savior stuff, but
yeah.
Oh man, I love that scene. So what do you like most about that scene?
So first off, wish Aaron had just freaking stayed there, you idiot. At least for like a little bit longer. Come on, man.
I know, right? Just 3 more seconds.
Yeah.
Just go to a quick peck. No big deal.
Now here's something I just thought of just now, actually. So, now we've both seen ReZero. It's a great show. Mm-hmm. Now, that episode 16, that whole episode is like rather infamous, right? I would not be surprised if that scene was almost like copied straight up from this scene of Attack on Titan.
What? You think he basically rejected Mikasa here?
No, not like that. So here's what it is. Main character has been trying all this time, right? And he despairs. He shuts down.
Sure.
He literally kind of goes crazy because he doesn't think he can do anything. He feels powerless. Then the person who's been with him all this time, now, and here's the thing, in that, the reason that it made such a big splash for people was because it wasn't just a love confession, it was the person pouring their heart out to them.
Well, this is the same thing.
And it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I would not be surprised at all if the creator of ReZero basically saw this scene of Attack on Titan and just said, this is so amazing, I'm going to remake it. But just have it be like a whole episode's worth.
Sure.
Because, like...
I'd buy that. I don't know the timelines of how things work out and stuff, but it's possible. Because I think ReZero is based on a light novel, so...
right. So, yeah. I just absolutely love that scene. And again, Aaron, you idiot. But then what was the other thing? Mikasa was amazing. But okay, I absolutely loved that when they had her talking to Eren, she didn't say, "You taught me how to live." She said, "You taught me how to live with purpose." Because just saying "you taught me how to live," that could potentially be chalked up to just him rescuing her, or her being in love with him or whatever. But no. But this is getting at who Eren is, and the fact that is exactly the kind of thing that Mikasa needs, right?
Right.
She needs to see somebody that has a strong sense of purpose, that knows why they exist on this world. Like,
is that maybe why people follow Eren in general? Is because he just has that strength and power
like that.
Of
that's what it was. That's what it was.
Even if his
very
purpose
beginning.
Is something simplistic and stupid, he's passionate about it.
And it didn't start out like that. When he was inspiring most of the people back at the beginning, when he got all the people to join the Survegon Legiment, it wasn't because he was saying, "I'm going to kill all the Titans." He was saying, "Are you really okay just sitting in a cage?
Yeah, and doing nothing.
Yeah, and doing nothing. We have to rage against the dying of the light."
Yeah.
And
that's good.
Like,
that's really good. Okay. Awesome. Wow. Because I like Eren as a character. Mm-hmm. I have struggled in the past with kind of remembering that, he is a character. Right. Because at other times he just fills that protagonist role. But he has moments like that where you've seen elements of his character in other protagonists before. Mm-hmm. But this one is just executed really well.
Holy crap, yes.
One of the things that Jacob and I like to talk about in stories in particular, and you guys have probably heard this, is that there's a difference between a great concept and great execution. Yep. So you can have something that's a fantastic concept just executed poorly. And you can have something that's a very simple concept but executed perfectly.
Right.
Both are great And that's why something like Sword Art Online, I believe, is actually very popular. Sword Art Online is a great concept, but I believe it's executed Well,
it could have been executed better.
It could have been executed a lot better.
Yeah.
But then there's other things where it's a much more simple premise. And I think Eren is an example of one of those characters that could be written off as a very simple character. Could be.
Sure.
But he's executed so well.
Especially in this scene.
In this scene. That that's why I have to put him as my third in my top 3.
Sure, yeah.
That's why I have to. I totally understand the power that a lot of the other characters have, but there's just something special there, and I do love Mikasa as a character as well. And don't get me wrong, I love Mikasa. Just that whole scene in particular, I almost want to just kind of bookend it, front, back, watch it over and over and over and over and over again. Maybe even someone should out there, if any of you make videos and stuff like this, some of you should make some kind of, not an AMV, but some kind of a little story video that shows where they've come through together.
Oh, sure.
And then ends it with that scene.
Yeah.
And really show the power of where they've come through and stuff. Someone make that. Someone please get on that. I do not have the skill to do it. And not really the time either, even if I did have the skill. So if anyone can do that, thank you so much. Or if anyone has done that, just send us a message in our send us a YouTube message,
that would
and we'll
fantastic to see.
It'd be so good.
Yeah.
So the season ends. We have Erwin with a beard in bed,
looking just awesome.
Levi's there. I think Pictius was there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hanji was there.
Mm-hmm.
Connie was there to give the intel about the village and stuff, and basically just get everyone on the same page of what we, the audience, already know.
Yeah,
which is fine, but it's kind of like, all right, yeah, we're recapping. This is the finale, and we're doing that stuff, and then Jean and Jean or whatever, and Eren and Mikasa and Armin are all doing the same thing. And I was a little bit disappointed by the lack of dialogue regarding the scene. That just happened between Eren and Mikasa, but that's fine. And then them deciding to zoom out and kind of be like, let's show all the people, and then the Beast Titan will end on that. Cool. I am glad that they didn't do a cliffhanger, because although we're only having to wait a year, guys, we're only having to wait a year for Attack on Titan. Like, do you realize how amazing that is?
If we can take,
and we're
4
also
years,
getting like a lot of episodes apparently. This season basically decided to rely on the content that it had brought before and not do a cliffhanger. And with the amount of cliffhangers that Attack on Titan has in the episodes themselves and in the previous season before, I say even if they maybe restricted their season's length and had like a few other episodes that they had planned and just kind of threw this ending together, I'm okay with that. They trusted the show and they trusted us to an extent with this amount and said, this is a good, solid amount of story to give them while they wait again for the next season. And
by doing that, they're making it so that when they get to the next season, they won't have to do a bunch of recap stuff. They'll be able to go right into it. You know, because like the most of the first episode for this one, it was basically like introducing the Beast Titan and then being like, so yeah, there was Annie, that was a thing. There's the Titans in the walls, that's a thing. You know, but I don't think they'll have to do that for this one. Everyone's on the same page, and we just Suzume!
And oh my gosh, the hype is back, guys.
Oh, the hype is back in full force.
The hype is back in full freaking force. So with what Attack on Titan did in the first season, it shattered all records and things like that, and broke tons of barriers and bringing tons of new people into anime and stuff. But guys, season 2 did a fantastic job.
It really did.
While it wasn't as long as season 1, come on. That was worth the wait.
Oh, yeah.
That's something we just wanted to let you all know, at least from our perspective. It was so worth it. So worth it.
Yeah.
And we're biased, you know. We love this show. Yeah. We didn't need any convincing, really. But that they decided to put in all this stuff.
Yeah.
For people like me who really like to go in deep, there's so much meat here. Like Sasha would be like really just drooling, you know, with the amount of meat of story that they've given us. So I'm like excitedly telling all my friends, like, watch the second season, because like it's actually good. And I had so many friends that were like, Attack on Titan's back, it's
whatever. It's been 4 years and it died down.
This season was fantastic. So all y'all out there, you love Attack on Titan, spread the word.
Yep. And don't read the manga.
Oh,
you can wait. Like,
yeah, like I agree. Like, Jacob seems to have a lot of fun just being that person that knows a little bit of things.
If I could take it back and like make
would
it so
you?
that, yes,
really?
But that's easy to say now because it's here.
Okay, like, okay. But the thing is that you still enjoy seeing things animated with the sounds and the voices and the voice acting.
Yes,
and the animation, the directing, all of that you're not gonna get on a black and white,
you don't
panels
and you don't manga, get Hiroyuki freaking Sawa now either. Like
the music, the opening and stuff. Yeah.
You just don't get that, and that.
Okay, this opening, they had a lot to live up to from season 1, at least the first arc of season 1. But that was a fantastic opening.
Oh yeah,
that shot where the Colossal Titan like breaks
the mountain, yes,
out of the mountain or whatever, and then like all this rubble goes through and stuff, and Mikasa like zips through and grabs Eren and flings him up into there, and then he transforms the Armor Titan and punch each other. But also the part where they're going Sasageyo, Sasageyo, Shinzo, Sasage. Yeah, that part where they jump off the wall.
The
wall. The massive group into the Titans is just, so good. But okay, like, sound off in the comments, Jacob. Let's get some audience interaction going in here. What was your favorite part of Attack on Titan season 2, and why? And what are some things that you think we missed that are just highlights of the second season in particular?
Oh, and Zeno, you said you had a question?
Yeah, what's your question? Go for it. Questions 2. Let's keep them Attack on Titan season 2 related, though. I'm just waiting for the little bit of the delay as they send in their comments and stuff. It's good stuff.
Okay.
As you can see, guys, like, we love these types of shows and stuff, but we love them so much we could just talk about them for hours and hours.
Thoughts on Eren's dad? Like, he hasn't been around for a while. Like...
Yeah, he'll come back when the plot's relevant.
Okay.
Thoughts?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, with all due respect, I think the whole thing surrounding his dad and stuff was a little bit kind of hackneyed in terms of the writing, because there's the whole key thing around it and stuff. So we just need more context.
This question is specifically targeted towards you since I've read the manga, right? Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on Reiner leading up to the reveal of his Titan form, and more specifically his speech?
His speech on the wall when he's about to transform and stuff. I understand where Reiner's coming from. Reiner needs also a little bit more context. Sure. I don't have too many thoughts about him.
Okay.
I am not angry with Reiner. I am not excited for Reiner. And I'm not necessarily surprised. Reiner seemed a little bit too Captain America-y
at the beginning.
Yeah. He seemed a little bit too good.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that now we're showing some conflict.
All right. Yeah. So then, favorite Titan shifter and favorite song from this season.
This season? Oh, the song part's crazy because I really love Yamir's Call of Silence?
Yeah, I think that one has got to be the one for me. Unless
I will break down into tears just listening to the song because it's so beautiful. If I'm in a quiet room and I just want to just nullify all my senses but listening to the music, I don't know. It's something special. I'll just kind of drift away. It's just beautiful.
Yeah.
I really liked the Barricades song. You guys know what I'm talking about. Barricades, yeah. They only had a little bit of it when I think it was Historia killing her first Titan. Yeah, Yeah, that part. That song that played at that part. Oh, fantastic stuff. I like the opening. I do, but I feel like I really liked some of those other songs. But yeah, what are some other questions?
Any theories on the Beast Titan?
No.
I
already gave him at the beginning, if anything. But
how old are you? That's not Attack on Titan related.
No, it's not. Any questions that you see that you could answer?
Yeah. As a manga viewer, what scenes in the season 2 were you looking forward to most, and did it exceed your expectations? Hands down, the Eren and Mikasa scene at the end. And I would say that Erwin's, advance was all a part of that. That I like. As soon as Attack on Titan season 2 was revealed as like being an actual thing that was happening, I was like, awesome! I'm going to get to see that part animated in just stunning Studio Wit animation.
The funny thing is I remember you saying something about the poster. So when we first watched this, Jacob was telling me, he's like, oh, that poster. I'm like, what? And he's like, well, he's like, I can't really say. I'm like, what is it? And he's like, well, it's Eren's pose, his pose. I know that pose. I'm like, okay, cool.
It's his pose when he, uses the coordinate and the Smiling Titan gets eaten.
And I was like, okay, so he's going to transform. Cool, whatever. And Jacob's just like, mum's the word, mum's the word. I'm not saying anything.
There's a lot of questions about Bertholdt and Reiner justifying their actions and stuff, but that's all. We've already sort of covered that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
that's kind of in general most of everything.
Oh, who do you think won the actual fight, Mikasa or Annie?
Oh, the debate of who is actually best girl fighter?
Yeah.
There's got to be a best girl, Best girl debates are like as old as time, right?
Exactly.
I mean, if I wanted to break it down and see who I actually thought won.
Yeah,
I have no idea. No, I actually don't think it would have been so cut and dry.
Well, no, I'm just saying. I personally.
Oh, you personally think Mikasa? See, I'm not sure that it would be so simple, because one of the things that they made a point of every time they showed flashbacks to, Mikasa, they showed that she had even like martial arts training like as a kid. Like she knew how to, redirect, people's...
Wait, did you say Mikasa or Annie?
Mikasa.
Oh, okay.
They showed Mikasa's, ability to redirect people's blows and all that kind of stuff like that. And then Annie has also her techniques. But it's like, does Mikasa really have techniques, or does she just kind of just fight? And she's just really strong and fast and stuff. Who knows? So I'm going to kind of leave it up into the air, because in some weird way, they both kind of have like a power, Mm-hmm. Mikasa's power is just the power of badass and being Asian and being awesome. Annie has actual Titan, powers and stuff. Mm-hmm. So with that all being said, it's not important who won. Like
some people are saying Keith won. Shadis.
Oh,
he just would have come in and be like, no, stop it.
Kind of like telling Sasha to get a grip when she farts,
Exactly. Yep.
That's a good one. I like Shadis. He was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's funny is I don't even remember what he actually sounds like, because all I think of is a Slap on Titan.
Yeah.
Like I've seen the Sarge rants for a Slap on Titan so much that I still hear that voice. I don't hear the original Sarge.
Oh man,
Shadis sound.
He has become such a meme.
Well, the thing is, a lot of people haven't watched that stuff because it's an abridged, and abridges aren't for everybody.
Well, right, but I mean, even if people haven't watched a Slap on Titan, there's still just the Team 4-Star abridge, and a whole bunch of people have seen that. Like
that was true. I think there were like 25 million views before it was taken down.
Yeah, like his whole thing of the "you sound like a majestic eagle," like that is very much a thing in the Attack on Titan Tumblr. Like,
oh, okay.
Like I haven't been there in a while, but like
I'm sure it still is. Yeah.
To
some extent. Okay.
So that seems like they're.
I think we're basically done then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Anyone else have any closing questions? Let yourself be heard now.
Mm-hmm.
We are 3 hours and 3 minutes into the stream, so I think that's a pretty good time to stop.
Yeah.
Baby
hand
questions.
in the opening. I don't remember a baby hand.
Oh yes. I was gonna say, I rewatched the opening a few times last night, and there's a baby hand that's being held by a grown-up hand. Kind of grown-up, but what that hand is, I think it's more of a symbol again, but I don't know. I don't try to dissect openings. That's not my talent.
It's Aramika's baby. We can hope.
But it's to you 2,000 years in the future, not you 2,000 years in the past, or 20 years in the past. Oh man. But yeah, any closing questions? Otherwise, we're gonna call it here. Give him a few seconds. It's gives a little bit of a delay.
There's one of what drives Runner Burl Nanny to kill people, but they're child soldiers. So
see, I think there's
more people asking how old we are.
Yeah. We're gonna have a Q&A video about us as YouTubers and people later. We're wanting to focus more on the show because right about now we're really hot and muggy from just this crazy weather and stuff. I need to take a cold shower, so
I need to take off this jacket.
Yeah, Jacob having the most awesome jacket for this Attack on Titan series has just been fantastic because he really looks the part of being a scouting regiment soldier and stuff.
Yes.
So no more questions. Looks like.
Do you think Titans are immortal?
Do I think Titans are immortal? Oh, that's an interesting question. So Ymir was a Titan for 60 years and didn't age much. She didn't age 60 years. Let's just say that.
Sure.
When she was a human. So what I think is, if anything, the human body could be put into a case of permanent stasis.
Well, and here's the other thing.
By being a Titan.
She ate Reiner and Bertholdt's friend 5 years before the show started.
Is that relevant?
So the age she is now in the show, she would have, when she, maybe that was actually maybe a slight animation error. When she would have become human again, she would have been 5 years younger than she is now. Unless she just stopped aging after she became human.
Interesting. Well, the other thing is that, who's to guess people's ages in an animated show and stuff?
That's true.
It's not really as important, but I'd say at the very least for when they're in their regular, when a Titan is a Titan, they don't need to eat. They don't need to, do anything in particular. And the only way they die is getting hit with the nape. So yes, I would say that Titans in their weaker thing are definitely immortal. But does that mean that Eren will never die? No, I think if anything, it's just the fact that there's that regenerative capacity within the Titan. But I think because the shifters have to shift out of their Titan form due to energy reserves, means that they're basically, they have the hybrid capacity over where they're both human and Titan, but that shifting part is what drains them of energy. So I think that will just take away the immortal aspect potentially, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it will. I think it will slow their aging. Let's just say that there will be an Evangelion aspect probably where all the Titan shifters are young because they've been in Titans for so long. They have Titan physiology or something, and they're able to just regenerate from sickness and all those other kinds of things, and just aging effects as well.
Sure. Yeah. Now, okay, here's one question. Would you rather be a Titan shifter, or would you rather have Asian war goddess fighting skills?
You answer that one.
Asian war goddess fighting skills.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would hope it would come with the 3D maneuver gear.
That's a tough one. So, you say Titan shifter?
No, either Titan shifter or Asian war goddess fighting skills. Have you seen Mikasa's abs? That would be really cool.
We can get abs. We just
Well, no, I know, but I think hers are a little bit unrealistically like there's 2-inch deep shadows.
But you're also talking about the martial arts skills. You're also talking about all the full package here. But for a Titan shifter thing, I would take a... See, the problem with being a Titan shifter is that you instantly become a target, and everyone wants to get rid of you or dissect you and stuff like that. So it's it's just not as good. But if I lived in a world like Attack on Titan, I would much rather have Titan shifting than Asian War Goddess powers. If I just was taking it here in this world, I want Asian War Goddess skills.
Gotcha. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
No bullcrap with Titans. I wouldn't mess with that at all.
You just want to be like, that would be really.
I mean,
freaking
realistic.
Awesome.
Like,
yeah,
I'd get picked up by the government or something like really quickly if I was a Titan shifter.
Yep. You'd probably get picked up by the government too if you had
Asian
War Goddess powers.
There's a lot of people. Human beings are pretty incredible.
Oh no, I didn't say they'd pick you up to dissect you. They'd pick you up to recruit you.
Sure, but if I never really used them to the fullest extent,
true.
No one would know. Any other questions, or should we call it here?
I think that's about it. A lot of them are sort of repeats of previous questions or questions that I don't feel it's safe to ask you.
Oh, good. Thank you very much, Jacob, for making sure that we got through this part. Okay. All right, so we are going to call the stream here now, guys. Thank you very much, everyone, for tuning in.
Yes.
This has been super fun. And one of the things we're wanting to do kind of moving forward is when we get into a hiatus portion of a show, we want to do a live stream and kind of talk about it with you guys and stuff.
Yes.
Get, kind of more affiliated stuff with you guys as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to work also much better when we have a show that's not got a lot of people trying to spoil us as well.
Yes.
Like Ruby, for instance. We're going to be able to theorize with you guys.
Ruby.
Can't spoil on Ruby when it's like, there's no other content past, volume 5 when it's over.
Yep.
So, guys, that'll be fun. And, we'll see you in the next video.
Thanks for the great comments.
Yeah, thank you for the great comments and questions. You guys are fantastic.
Yeah.
We love doing this because of you guys.
Yeah.
But primarily not just because of you guys, but because of the interaction from you guys.
Yep.
A lot of you guys have been really, really generous and just interacting with us and just having a lot of fun with it.
One last question. Attack on toilet?
No. I already did that.
Yeah. See.
I already Susume all over that thing. It's good.
All right. Well.
All right. I think we're calling it?
Yeah.
All right, guys. Well, it's been great fun. Until next time, though, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.